Good afternoon, everyone. We are now live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram in just a second here. And Instagram. Morning. Happy MLK Jr. Day. The doctor 55 years ago was assassinated. Unreal to think about. Assassinated at the age of 39. He accomplished so much and had such an influence in his life before even the age of 40. Kind of crazy to think about. He won the Nobel Peace Prize when he was 34 years old. Which is kind of wild. I wonder, is that a record or something? We're not going to get into conspiracy stuff. We're just going to celebrate the dude's impact on our lives. A lot of people have the day off. The kids are home from school today, and it's all because you got to remember why you get these holidays. And it's because of his influence, which is still, his legacy is still loud and proud and strong. And it's really cool. So happy MLK Jr. Day. We got sales to ship out. I'm working on a video. Reisner says, welcome. If you're watching this on replay, let me know down below. We're going to go MLK down below in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, remember all these recordings from these lives are available on Facebook and on YouTube.
Ready to be closed awesome. And ready to go.
Okay, we'll pop that up on the screen in just a second. We have, yes, I know the post office is closed today before everybody gets all crazy. We're still going to ship out orders. We have 13 orders from the weekend. Really interesting weekend. One order on Saturday. The other 12 came in on yesterday, or like the last 24 hours. A couple of them were this morning, but you get the idea.
You like the way the station looks?
It looks great, Kim.
We got plenty of room up here to still do other things.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Kim. Say hi. You're on the other platforms too.
Oh, hi. Let me know when you're done. I'll make food.
Okay. I'm working on a video about all of the woolen moles as applied to. I love that. I'll watch that video. If you're not following Reisner, click on her name, give her a follow over there on TikTok. Everyone check your TikTok shop. I have a 40% off coupon. Thank you, Kim K. So we're going to get all these orders shipped out. I think the breakdown is 7 eBay, 5 Poshmark. Poshmark and eBay have been running about 50-50 for me lately. And so eBay won the weekends. All right, which are we starting with, eBay or Poshmark? Let me know down below in the chat. If you have any questions about shipping, this is the place to be. We're going to ship a variety. It's all clothing that we're shipping today, but a variety of different stuff. We got jeans, we got shirts, we got sweatshirts. We got a blazer mixed in there. We got some coffee. If you like coffee, you deserve better coffee. You drink it every day. Why not? Check it out. Little word from our sponsor here, Chris at Peak Coffee. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, you can go to chrisatpeak.com, or there's a link down below or a link in the profile. Go to chrisatpeak.com, just like my name on the screen, and get yourself some delicious coffee. If you're on TikTok, you can click my name up above. You can also go to the TikTok shop. And all you do is you click the shop icon about halfway down my profile, SHOP. You might have yourself a really good coupon. Kim K just got 40% off her order. That's from TikTok shop. So it's good for me because TikTok's paying for that 40% off. It's good for you because you get 40% off. And it's good for me because I got this awesome sale and I'm really excited about it. Of course, everybody gets a handwritten thank you note if you order from chrisatpeak.com or TikTok shop. And we'll ship it out right here during the live with a big dose of gratitude. That's how we do things. 13 orders going out. We got eBay. We got Poshmark. No Nick Sen. Good question. I've never sold a single thing ever on Amazon. I don't have an Amazon seller account. Are you an Amazon reseller? I'm just on eBay, Poshmark, whatnot, chrisatpeak.com, and TikTok shop. Those 5 platforms. No Amazon at this point in time. Ruth says eBay first. Cool. There were so many votes there, Ruth, that I had to go through all the votes. And you win, Ruth. A nice dose of sarcasm to kick us off here. Of course, I'm drinking some Black Mountain Dark Roast right here too, which is now on the cool side, but it's still delicious. All right, first up is, let's go with a fun one first. This Planet Hollywood piece. Vintage Planet Hollywood sweatshirt from New York. Planet Hollywood, New York. Made in the USA on the tag there, Planet Hollywood. This sold for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. This is on eBay. So let's go ahead and get this rocking. Thanks everyone for joining in the chat. If you're just popping in, drop a hello down below in the chat. Nick sells a little bit on Amazon. Cool. Or say just anything. Say something. Literally put in the word something, and that helps. If you haven't tapped the screen on TikTok, that helps me out. If you haven't hit the like button on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, that also helps me out. If you do want to help me out, if you don't, I don't care. I get it. You do you. The location closed 2020 non-payment of rent. The New York one did. Do they still have Planet Hollywood? Is there somebody that can confirm that? What is up? Jesus Bonales is in the chat on Facebook. Welcome, welcome. Shannon Phillips, good afternoon over there on YouTube. So we got some chat going on everywhere. I'm going to try to keep up with it all. So we're going to ship this out on eBay using eBay's shipping discount. Probably got to go USPS, I'm guessing. I think all of this stuff today is going to go USPS. And yes, I know the post office is closed today. We're still going to get some orders packed up and out of the way. Move things through this office. All right. All right. So this is going to go at a 2 pound rate. So it's going to go USPS priority. That's going to be our cheapest option. Ground Advantage is actually more expensive. It's $7.35. So this sweatshirt is going to go in one of these Tyvek mailers, which is they're free from USPS.com. You can order them in packs of 10. I think it's 10 or 25. I use them a ton. I use them for a lot of my Poshmark shipping. I also use them for clothing that I ship priority on eBay. Everyone gets a handwritten thank you card. This is going from Asheville, North Carolina to Piney River, Virginia to Lee. Thank you, Lee, for your order. This ain't going very far. So hence the $7.20 regular priority on that. Getting back to work, Jay, peace out. They still have Planet Hollywood at other locations. Gotcha. I don't think I've been to a Planet Hollywood since I was a teen. And I'll tell you, that was like, I think I've only been to one of them. I feel like I went to the one in Orlando. And I was probably like 15 or 13 or something like that. I just remember being like in awe of like all the cool stuff they had there and just like the cool vibe, the cool energy of the place. Let me know down below in the chat. Have you been to a Planet Hollywood? Oh, thanks, Nancy. I appreciate your positive energy. Groovy Grabs. Happy Monday. Nothing, something, everything. Yes, New York. Something in the chat. That located, closed, eBay. Gotcha. I'm at home with a sick baby girl today. I'm sorry, Damien S. Not getting much work done today. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Hope the little tyke starts feeling better. How old's your little one? You said baby girl, so maybe like really, really young. Let me know down below in the chat. Do you have, or somebody in your household, does somebody have the day off? Either the kids or spouse or something. Somebody got the day off for MLK? Happy MLK Day, y'all. 55 years since he was assassinated at the young age of 39. She's 3. She's just a little one. She's just a little one. Sending positive vibes to your fam, not just to your little one, but also to you. That's going to be challenging having a little one at home. I know you just want her to feel better. Day off teacher here. London, Paris, and Las Vegas. Those are the 3 that are left. London, Paris, and Las Vegas. I feel like, did I go to one in Orlando or am I making that up? Tanya's in the house. This may be a silly question. If you have touched on this, I apologize. Every question has been asked hundreds, some of them thousands of times, and I love answering them every time. Wondering if when you first started, did you have all your shipping equipment already set up and running, or did you start a different way at the beginning? At the very beginning, I did not even have a printer at my house. I would print out my shipping labels at my work office, which was right next door. I lived in Denver, Colorado at the time. So we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, Kim and I, in downtown Denver. And we had no space, no storage unit. And what the first storage piece that I bought a friend's bureau. She lived in the same apartment complex. I bought her like dresser for $50, and I used the dresser to store clothing items. We also stored stuff in our closet, like in little nooks and crannies and corners and stuff like that. I printed all my shipping labels at work, which was next door, which was convenient. They were cool with it. It was a co-working place. And so I had a co-working membership, which means I had access to things like free coffee and printers and stuff like that. So it was all good. It was all kosher. I wasn't stealing from my office place, but yeah. And I just kind of, as I grew the business and I had money coming in the door, remember I had a full-time job. So as I had money coming in the door from the business, I reinvested that money into the buying things. So eventually I bought myself a printer. So I have an IDPRT thermal printer. Right now they're typically on sale for around $100. Sometimes you can get them for like 85 or 90. I think I probably paid, like mine was probably more like 110 or 120 when I bought it. But the thermal printer is a huge step in the right direction in terms of start saving you money. Basically, once you start doing some volume. To me, the most important early investments, and I didn't do this early enough, so take it from somebody from my own lived experience, is getting some box lights. So these 2 box lights and my printer I have linked in my Amazon reseller shopping list. You can go to my website, chris@peak.com, or click the links down below. Or if you're on TikTok, you can click my name up above. And you can go to my Amazon reseller shopping list. All the stuff that I order for my business, I have linked up there. It makes it easy for me to reorder stuff that I use. And it makes it easy for me to also to answer like, hey, Chris, what do you use for your clear bags? What do you use for your shipping bags? It's all linked. You can find the exact ones. Good vendors. These are vendors that I give thumbs up to, stuff that I've been using for years in most cases. But as you're getting started, Tanya, and I hope this helps, you talked about shipping, but to me, getting started, get a scale, have some way to print out shipping labels. By the way, I do think getting a thermal printer early on makes more sense than it used to, because right now, if you're going to buy a desk jet printer, like an inkjet printer, those things are like $50, $60, $70. You can go ahead and get yourself an IDPRT for somewhere in the $80 to $100 range. And you're going to save yourself money every single time you print something out, because it's not using any ink whatsoever. These labels print out no ink. It's thermal. So you'll never spend money for ink ever again. Those ink pack cartridges can cost like $25 a piece, right? So you buy one printer, say the printer costs you $60 and you have to refill one of those ink cartridges. That's $25. You're at $85. You can probably get yourself an IDPRT and then never pay for ink ever again. And it's going to be a lot faster, a lot easier. Save time, save money, you get it. But to me, an early investment after you have a printer and a scale, boom, get you some good lighting. These are like usually $100 on Amazon for 2 of them. I've had these for 2.5 years, almost 3 years. Never changed a bulb in them. It's one time I paid $100 for them. I might have paid like 110 or something at the time. But anyway, that's a big way to upgrade your photo quality. And if you upgrade your photo quality, you will have a better sell-through rate. Kids are home. Off today, taking advantage of listings. Smart groovy grabs. Now it's just reinvesting profits for more instead of using personal check. Yeah, I mean, I grew my business. I didn't take any money out of my business the first 2.5 years I was in business, because I had a full-time job that paid our bills, that bought our IPAs, that sort of thing, paid for our vacations. I didn't need to take money out of the business. I just grew the business account up and invested in things that would help me grow my business and get more sales. The best way to get more sales, the best investment, where I think everybody should start, is how do you improve your photos? And it's usually lighting. It usually comes down to lighting. You don't need a fancy camera or anything like that. I use my iPhone, which I think is a 12 or a 13. I don't remember. Damien S. Oh, you're in North Carolina too? Whereabouts, if you're comfortable sharing, whereabouts in North Carolina are you? Damien S. That's cool. Lucifer label printer on sale for $53 right now. Cool. I don't know anything about that label printer, but there you go. $53 is a good price, but I don't know anything about the reliability or whatever. The IDPRT I can speak to, because I've been using the IDPRT for 2.5 years, put thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of shipping labels through this thing, and it just keeps on trucking, no issues, no challenges. So maybe sometimes the cheapest isn't always the best. Maybe that Lucifer label printer, if you've had good experiences with it, coaches are, especially over time, let us know. But I try not to recommend stuff unless I've had personal experience with it, especially over time. Kernersville, yep, you're not far at all. So we're out in the Winston-Salem area pretty regularly. My in-laws live in Clemens, North Carolina, which is really close to you in Kernersville. And my brother and sister-in-law live in the west end of Winston-Salem. So we're in that area just about every 6 weeks out there. And I do some thrifting in that area pretty regularly too. You're welcome, Tanya. If you have any follow-up questions, Tanya, let me know. But I know people get intimidated by me like having this whole office space and all, kind of all these tools and fancy things and shelves and all that, and even a freaking sign on the wall, for gosh sakes. But that's not what the beginnings were, right? Don't compare. I always say, like, don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle or end. My beginning was in a 1-bedroom, 700 square foot apartment in downtown Denver. And that's how we started this business. I had no printer whatsoever. I was using my work laptop, which they were fine with, whatever. And printed shipping labels at work, which again, they were fine with. So you just figure out a way to get started. You start generating some income, you start generating some profits. And then, grow your business, build your business, get smarter as you go to, and then invest in the right tools that will help you be more efficient and get better sales. I mean, just like any business, and you're going to get so much smarter as you keep moving forward. It might seem like it's so intimidating and there's so much to learn, and there is a lot to learn, but the best way is just to, when you got to digest an entire book for class, right? And it's like, it's 300 pages I got to read. Well, read the first page, right? And then move on to the second page. You'll get to the second chapter before you know it. Next thing you know, you're on chapter 7, and you'll just work through your book. But you're not going to do it all in an hour. You've had a Zebra for over 10 years. Love it. Nice. I spent my first year building it with a little ooch of personal check, then set up a separate account. Nice. Now it's just always reinvesting. I'm with you. I like it. All right, let's ship some stuff. I'm doing a lot of talking, and I love the talking part of this thing. I think y'all probably already know that. Let's get some more orders out. We got the first order out. Next one on eBay is a Johnny O hoodie. I bought this off of Whatnot. I think it was from my friend Joel from Pretty Good Resells. Let me go grab this here. I'll show it to you. I love this brand, Johnny O. This is brand new with tags. It sold for $44 plus the buyer paid for shipping on this, which they paid something. $5.95 shipping on this. It's the right one. It is. Johnny O. It's a men's size 2XL. This is a polyester modal cotton blend hoodie. You can't see the whole thing, but you can at least see the logo there. Johnny O. I like to call it Johnny Bro with that little surfer dude on there. You'll see that logo on a lot of their shirts too. This is going to go probably at a 15-ounce rate is my guess. Ooh, that's going to go at a 12-ounce rate. So we're going to put this in a 9x12 poly mailer. This is going to ship through eBay, and it's going to go USPS ground advantage at a 12-ounce rate. That is going to cost us somewhere around $5. $5.33. Thank you card for everybody, including Curtis with a K. Where are your recommendations for shipping products? I have all my shipping products, including these bags that you see right here and the clear poly bags inside. They're linked on my profile. Go to my website and go to the tools to sell online. You'll see a whole Amazon reseller shopping list. It's exactly how I order all my stuff, is right through that shopping list. You can order it too. Sometimes just getting the cheapest poly bags is not the best bet. Sometimes you'll find out that the adhesives aren't very good, or the bag is like super, super thin, like a freaking shopping bag or something. The quality is really low. Sometimes they ship really slow. All the products that I have linked in my profile, those are approved vendors, good adhesives, good bags, whatever it is, and they'll ship it to you quickly too, which is sometimes important. Sometimes you just need that stuff, right? $5.33 for this to ship. It's going USPS ground advantage. It's going to clear across the country, Asheville, North Carolina to Turlock, California. Beautiful. I don't ever find Johnny O. Cindy, what neck of the woods are you? Sometimes some brands are they have more distribution in certain parts of the country, or just more of a following. Johnny O is more of a modern brand too. I don't think they've been around all that long. It has the feelings of a brand, I feel like, and someone can check my math on this by Googling it too. I feel like they've probably been around for like a 10 or a 15-year type of company, like a younger company. There's a lot of these younger fashion brands that have popped up. Fort Worth, Texas. Gotcha. Johnny O. Yeah, it's probably not so much of like, Johnny O's kind of got like a little bit of like surfer, athleisure kind of vibes. I don't know if there's a lot of that in like Fort Worth. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Fort Worth. I've been to the airport. Next up, we got a polo sweater. Pony on the chest, men's size, large. This one's a nice one. It's got buttons. It's got like a couple of buttons up on the collar. It's got a mock neck. It took a little while to sell. I feel like this took 10 months to sell. Men's size large. Sometimes things just take a little while. Sometimes you don't know why. $25 plus $8.95 shipping is what the buyer paid on this. So they're all in for $34. This is probably going to go regular priority, but it just depends on how far it's going. This is going to New York, and this is going to go out at a 2-pound rate because it weighs between 1 and 2 pounds. Let's see what this is going to cost us. Priority mail is $8.82, and a padded flat rate will be $8.30. What is ground advantage? $7.85 for ground advantage. So this is going to go ground, USPS ground advantage, and actually, I'm going to check something. I'm going to check Pirate Ship just out of an experiment here. Let's see if I can get a ground advantage cubic rate on Pirate Ship. That might be a few cents cheaper. We'll do it in the sake of learning and teaching. Thank you. I asked you because my sister gave me a lot of Under Armour sweaters in Colombia. Oh, Ruby, for free. I mean, yeah, if your cost of goods is zero, then yeah, those things are great stuff to sell online because you don't have to worry about the margin so much. You can just, they're probably worth somewhere between $15 and $20 would be my guess. I don't know what the items are. It totally depends. Like a brand doesn't have like the same value across the whole brand. But my guess would be that they're probably $15 and $20 items. So if your cost was zero, great. I pay $5 at a thrift store for those pieces. So for me to sell them for 15 to 20, there's not as much margin there. So, but for you, let's go. They're free. I like free. So let's check out this mock neck get rates. I have my eBay and my Pirate Ship integrated. So this will go in a 12 by 9 poly bag, and it's going to weigh 1 pound and 10 ounces. So Pirate Ship and eBay talk to each other. When I first started selling, I bought a cheap $15 printer from Marketplace to get started. I love it. That's actually the first printer I bought. I got a deal on Amazon. I paid like $25 for like an inkjet printer, but that's really hard to find. I mean, that was back in 2018. I don't know if you can find an inkjet printer for that cheap anymore, but yeah, Marketplace, that's a smart move. I don't know what that means. User 4919. I slowly growing, average 2K profit a month, just trying to get better. Nice, Mr. Krabs. I love that. That's great. Now I know what you mean. Sorry, user 49. I missed that one. When's your next whatnot? Yep, this Tuesday will be my next whatnot. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All kinds of crazy stuff. Everything starts at $1, including this Kuji cardigan sweater is going to start at $1. It's a men's size extra large on that vintage Kuji, like a nice chase piece. People love these things. Really fun piece. There's a couple, like it is vintage. It's got like a little hole that you can see like right there. And I think there's one other somewhere too. There's like one right there too. But it's vintage. It's got a couple like, like threads, but that's the style of the sweater too. Men's size extra large on that vintage Kuji made in Australia. That'll be starting at $1. We'll have 50 auctions, always loaded with fire. Appreciate everybody who supports me over there on Whatnot too. If you're new to Whatnot and you're like, what the heck is Whatnot? It's a live auction app. You can get yourself some really great deals, whether you're a reseller looking to flip stuff or whether you're looking to buy stuff for yourself or your family. Whatnot, you can get some great deals, especially if you can find vendors on there that are trustworthy and they're going to be honest and tell you about little flaws like I just pointed out on that Kuji sweater. If you can find people like that. If you're interested in joining Whatnot, I have a link in my profile. If you're on TikTok, you can click on my name. You can go to my website and you click on the $15 Whatnot. If you join Whatnot, you get $15 for free or a $15 credit for Whatnot if you join through that link if you're new to it. I also have a link in there too if you're looking for vendors that I trust, people that I buy stuff from all the time. I have 6 or 8 people that I know have high integrity on that platform and run good shows with good items, and you'll get good prices, and it's going to be good stuff. You want to check that out. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, that link is down below, or go to chris@peak.com. If you're on Instagram, you can go to my profile, the link's there, or just go to chris@peak.com. You can find that $15 sign up thing, or you can just find some links to some people that I trust that I buy from all the time. Colts Comics is in the house. What's up, brother? Kuji is mercurized cotton. That's how the colors stay so bright. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, they are. That sweater is like jumping off the wall, right? I'm surprised only one person's asked about the sweater so far. I got this like crazy sweater hanging in the background. Anyway, we're doing an experiment here, and we were seeing if I could save some money by shipping on pirate ship instead of on eBay. And in this case, we're going to save some money. So the USPS Ground Advantage on eBay is $7.85, but the Ground Advantage cubic for the same item is $6.72 over on pirate ship. So we're going to save $1.13 to ship at USPS Ground Advantage. The reason that this is cheaper is because it's over a pound, like it's got some heft to it, so it's over a pound and it's small. So what I'm going to be using is the cubic rate, which is not offered on eBay. On pirate ship, they offer a Ground Advantage cubic and Ground Advantage or a priority cubic. Those are two rates that eBay does not offer, but pirate ship does offer. So it doesn't care how much it weighs. It only cares how big the item is, or the package that the item is in, and that's what you're paying for, is the size and the distance. That's all they care about. They don't care about the weight. So anything that's heavy and small, you can sometimes save some money by using pirate ship. This won't happen on all your orders. Remember, items that are over a pound and small, you can save yourself some money by going to pirate ship. In this case, it's $1.13 cheaper, and they're both Ground Advantage. This is just a Ground Advantage cubic rate. The same thing is true for priority, by the way. You can get a priority cubic rate over there on pirate ship. In some cases, it can save you a couple of $3 too by using that cubic rate. Again, if it's a heavy item that's small, like this sweater. I love pirate ship. Pirate ship saves the day. You won't find this on all, if you're shipping out a shirt that's 12 ounces. Don't bother checking pirate ship. It's probably not going to save you any money because that cubic rate is not going to really come into effect for you. It's if the item is over a pound, and typically over 2 pounds is kind of when I check, because it does take some time to go check. For me, I have pirate ship open all the time because my business, my coffee business, I ship all my orders through pirate ship. Missouri Mamas, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Good to have you. If you haven't hit that follow button, why not be like Missouri Mama and join the squad? So thank you, Mohammed. We just saved, and thank you, Pirate Ship. We're going to save over $1 on the shipping label. And again, there's nuance in these things. There's nuance. Don't check every single thing on pirate ship. If it's over a pound and it's a very small package, you might end up saving yourself some money. In this case, $1.13, which, I can buy you some coffee. All right, label. And the pirate ship accounts are free. You don't have to be a high volume seller. You can ship one item a year on pirate ship and you can get that savings. And I have no affiliation with pirate ship. They have no idea who I am, except for I pay them for shipping labels. There's no affiliate agreement. There's no click agreement. There's no nothing. I'm just telling you because I use it. I've been watching for a few weeks now, learning a lot. Thank you, Michelle. That's the whole reason I do this. A lot of people think like the videos are about bragging and stuff like that, but I think those are the shorts. I think when people come into lives, they realize that this has nothing to do with me bragging. It has everything to do with me sharing exactly what's going on in my business, like this moment where I save $1.13 on shipping, and hopefully that you're like, hey, maybe I can save a little bit of money here and there on shipping by using pirateship.com too. Hey, Mrs. Raymond, how are you? Can I call you Mrs. Raymond or Tricia? What do you prefer? I'll call you whatever you want. It's Birmingham, right? You're in Birmingham? I like Birmingham. I've been to that town once. I've been to Birmingham. There's a farm there. I took a group when I worked at University of North Carolina, Asheville. I took a group of students for an alternative spring break. I was their like adult person. Okay, I'll call you Tricia. I was their adult person on the trip, if you will. And we went to a farm called Jones Urban Farm. Is that what it was called? Jones Urban Farm. And it's right there in the middle of the city in Birmingham, like right next to a highway, right downtown. We went and worked on that farm and helped them out. It's a teaching farm. It's a sustainable teaching farm. So they teach people. They had like youth groups coming in from. I love Birmingham. I'll come visit you. I like it down there. I think it's like a fun. It's like a fun, hip kind of southern town. It's quirky. It's weird. I liked it. Anyway, but yeah, let me know if you've heard. I think it's called Jones Valley. You can, if you put Jones and Birmingham and Farm, I think it'll come up. Anyway, we spent a week down there with those college kids. I shouldn't call them college kids, college students. Jujube, thank you for the follow. Do you use Autoposher or Vendu? I use neither. I use One Shop. I have a link in my profile if you want to check it out. There's a free trial, which is free, and you can check out how One Shop works. I've been using it for 2.5 years. I used to use Vendu for my cross listing and One Shop for my automation, like my bot stuff for Poshmark. Now I dropped Vendu back in the spring, and I just use One Shop for both because I dropped a whole bunch of platforms. I dropped Mercari, Grailed, Depop, and Facebook Marketplace. I'm only on eBay and Poshmark for my cross listing stuff. I'm also on Whatnot and TikTok Shop and chrisatpeak.com. I have those platforms, but I dropped 4 reselling platforms. So I don't need a Vendu, which is really comprehensive. And I think the best overall tool for a cross listing, I still think, is Vendu. And I still have that linked in my profile. I still suggest that people do it if you're going to list on more than 2 platforms. I think Vendu is really good. One Shop for me, just eBay Posh is enough. It's powerful enough. And it's one payment, one app for me to log into, also to do my bot stuff too. It's only an app. So there's no desktop for it. It's just an app. So yesterday I listed 27 listings. I sat on the couch last night watching the TV's on in the background, and I just plowed through my 27 listings. Probably took me about 15 or 18 minutes to cross list those items sitting on the couch. It's nice and quick. So that's One Shop. It's $45 a month. I don't promote any of these things really anymore. I used to have a deal with Vendu, and I used to make videos about Vendu and stuff to promote them. I don't have that kind of relationship with One Shop, but that's what I use. People ask me about it. Go check it out. It's a free 7-day trial. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And that's cool too. eBay is enough for me. Cool. Yeah. Different ways to run this business for sure. For sure. To me, for a big clothing business, it's hard for me to ignore Poshmark, which is, they have a lot of market share in the clothing department. So yeah, for me, it's too much for me to ignore. It's too much business for me to ignore Poshmark. I do now ignore Mercari, Depop, Facebook Marketplace, and Grailed. Those used to be about 5% a month of my sales and business. But Poshmark right now, like eBay Poshmark is usually 60-40. So like 60% eBay and 40% Poshmark. That's just too much business for me to give up on. But again, our businesses are different, Dang Farmit. I'm very, very clothing focused, like 95+% clothing. So for me to ignore Poshmark is nuts. There's a great Goodwill too. Nice. Okay. I'm new here, so I've never heard of it. Okay, I think it's Jones Valley. Or just, you can Google it, you can find it. I think it's a cool place to go visit. They'd probably love to have you go and check it out. If you're into like farms and stuff, not everybody's into that sort of thing. Vegetables and whatever. 27. Wow, I am listing now. Let's go, Cindy. And that was actually like 32 total units because I listed a few of those items were multi-quantity. So I think there was like 32 units, but 27 individual listings. All right, we got the best. Oh, probably my most profitable. This is my most profitable sale of the day. So we'll call it the best sale of the day. Not the highest dollars. This took 2 weeks to sell, almost a little bit under 2 weeks to sell. Actually, almost, yeah, exactly 2 weeks. I think I listed this Sunday 2 weeks ago. So Polo Ralph Lauren corduroy blazer, vintage, 3-button, and it's a size large on this. This sold on eBay for a best offer. It sold for full price. My B, $69 plus $10.95 shipping. So the buyer's all in for $80 plus taxes on this bad area right here. Polo wrap. People ask me all the time. They want to learn about blazers and all that stuff. What do you look for? This sold in 2 weeks. Sold for $70. I paid $10 for it. So 10 into 70 plus shipping, and it was in my inventory for 2 weeks. Corduroy. Surfs Up Finds knows it. Surfs Up. It's a size large. I think it's too big for you, brother. You seem like a schmedium type of fella. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Get this all printed out here. Blazers, I make more margin, like more dollars per unit on blazers and suits than anything else in my inventory. That's where I make It takes longer to list this stuff. There's more pictures, there's more measurements. That's true. But I make more dollars per unit on this stuff than anything else in my inventory. When I used to do hard goods, that wasn't true. If I was selling vintage audio still and that kind of thing, those would be, you can make a couple $100 on some of those sales. But this one will probably be profit-wise, probably be somewhere around a $50 range on this one. So this is going to weigh in probably at a 3-pound rate. It'll never fit in a padded flat rate envelope, in case you're wondering about that. It is just too big. So this is going to go at a 3-pound rate. USPS priority mail is going to be $17.90. UPS ground is $11.10. Ground advantage is $11.43. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check something out. I have Pirate Ship open. I always have Pirate Ship open. So we're going to go ahead and check this one out on Pirate Ship. Get rates. This is how long it takes to check. I think I can get this into a box that will be about, just estimated at 15 by 13 by 4. And we said that this is going to be at a 3-pound rate. If I add, actually, that would be a, let's actually do something else. Let's go in a bag on this one. We're going to put this in an 18 by 14 bag. And the weight's going to be this. It's going to keep it under 3 pounds. Awesome sale. I just want to find and sell it. Nice find. I haven't found one just like that one before. I don't find a lot of Polo Ralph Lauren blazers. I found a lot of Ralph Lauren. We'll find a lot of Lauren Ralph Lauren. But every now and again, I'll find a Polo Ralph Lauren. So UPS ground is going to be the cheapest. Ground advantage over here is $11.43. Okay, so it's not cheap enough for the cubic rate, or it's not small enough for the cubic rate to save me any money on this piece. So we're going to go ahead and ship this USPS ground advantage. We're going to do this through eBay. I'm going to put this in an 18 by 14 poly bag, and I'm going to double bag this piece too. I'm going to put it in one of these big old clear poly bags. This one's 20 by 14. All right. So this is literally 2 pounds, 13 ounces is what this thing weighs. It is a big, not necessarily big, it's a size large, but just like this corduroy can be really heavy. Do you include a thank you note? I include a thank you note in all my orders. Some people snicker about it, but it's important to me. It's an opportunity for me to share a little bit of positivity in this world that just tends to have a lot of negativity, especially since social media has taken over the world. People get out there, they share negative stuff, negative comments. They cut you off in traffic, they flip you off. There's just so much negative stuff through a regular world. For me to be able to throw in a little thank you note and make somebody maybe crack half a smile once a day, why not? So this is going out. The person's name is Gio, I think. So thank you, Gio. We got a thank you card for you. Actually, I'll put it in the outside one. To me, the thank you note is less about return business, although of course I want return business. It's more about just an opportunity to share a little bit of positivity in this crazy, crazy world. Those cards cost me, I think, 4.5 cents, 5 cents maybe, to put in there. So for me, it's worth the investment of time and a few pennies to maybe brighten somebody's day out a little bit. That's the way I see things. Kindness is free and contagious. That reminds me, I need to order bigger poly bags. It's good. It's a nice weapon to have, those bigger bags, to have them around. Where do you buy your cards? From Vistaprint.com. I've been doing business. My very first business cards when I got my first restaurant manager job back in 2003. 2003 was the first time I bought business cards from Vistaprint. So I've been doing business with them for over 20 years now, and I like Vistaprint. They ship fast. Their prices are really, really cheap. So you're losing $1 since you charged $10 for shipping. The shipping on this will be $11. Let me just put in $11.43, and I charged the buyer $10.95. So if you want to look at it that way, Trisha, I lost 48 cents on shipping, but I just got a sale where I bought something for $10 and sold it for $69. So I don't really look at it that way. because if I sell another one of these, this is going all the way to California. If I sell another one of these tomorrow, instead of it being $10.95 shipping, it'll be like $7.95 shipping, and I'll gain $3, right? So it just comes out in the wash at the end of the day. I lose a few pennies on some, and I gain a few pennies on some. Is basically how it comes down to. So we'll get this shipped out. $11.43. I could have got it for a little bit cheaper. I think $11.10 to go UPS, but I don't want to drop it off at the UPS store. I'll cough up the 33 cents to have USPS come and pick it up at my front door tomorrow instead of having to drive all the way down there. For me, it's 15 minutes one way to go to the UPS store. It's sometimes if I was going out sourcing at one particular thrift store I go to, it's around the corner from that thrift store, so I don't mind it so much, but I still wouldn't do it for 30 cents. I wouldn't get out of the car and walk inside for the 33 cents. I'd rather just have USPS come pick it up. How do you guess the shipping before the mail, or do you just ship for a flat? $10.95 for all blazers, $5.95 for all shirts, $8.95 for all jeans and sweatshirts and hoodies, and suits are all $14.95. That's how I price stuff. Trisha. Captain Rid, thank you for the follow. Jen Meets World, thank you for the heart me. Kindness is contagious. Awesome sale. Cool. So that was the biggest profit item of the weekend. So let me pop that into the spreadsheet. This is Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet. He's a reseller. He built the spreadsheet. It's his third year doing the spreadsheets, and this spreadsheet is dialed. It is really, really good. I like the upgrades he made this year. It tracks my whole business. This is like my dashboard. It's my command central for my whole business. It tracks all my whatnot sales, my coffee sales, and that business. It keeps them separate. I can also combine them too and see how everything's performing. I love Jason Hayes' reseller spreadsheet. It's linked up in my profile or at chris@peak.com. The links are down below. Whatever platform you're on, if you go to chris@peak.com or click the links down below, you'll find Jason's reseller spreadsheet, and you can get 10% off if you use the discount code Chris2024. All that information's in the spreadsheet or in the link in bio. But don't take my word for it. Go and watch his videos. Jason Hayes, if you go through those links and you find his spreadsheet, he has videos walking through exactly what the spreadsheet does and what it doesn't do. And you can make a really good decision if this is the right thing for your business. But you can get 10% off with that discount code. My profit on this was $47.91, $47.91 on something I paid $10 for. I picked that up in Florida. That was a red, white, and blue. I paid $10 for that blazer. It took 2 weeks to sell from the listing. 3 weeks if you count I was in Florida when I picked it up, and then we got home the next week. Anyway, $47.91. So it's a good profit. That's my biggest margin category is suits and blazers, and they've been selling lately. I think I've shipped like 4 or 5 suits and blazers in the past week. I think 5. Lucky Brand jeans sold. These are on eBay. These sold for $24 plus shipping, so $8.95 shipping on these. So the buyer is all in for $33 on these Lucky Brands. I paid $5 for them at a thrift store. They're a big size, 46 by 32. I do better with the bigger sizes on those for sure. But I do pick them up in a lot of different sizes because I can get them for $5. If you're paying $10 for Lucky Brand, that's kind of tough. But for $5 in my area, I can do it. The spreadsheet is insane, Mr. Krabs. I use it for both businesses, eBay and the firefighter apparel business. I love it. I don't think I knew you had a firefighter apparel business. How can I learn more about that? That sounds really rad. I am fascinated now. I am fascinated. All right, let's get these jeans out the door. This will be another eBay. I'm going to ship it right through eBay. I don't think this is going to be a pirate ship checkaroo, but we'll see. So this is going from Asheville, North Carolina to Amherst, Ohio. And this is going to go at a 2-pound rate, although some of these bigger jeans go over 2 pounds. Some of the bigger jeans go over 2 pounds. That one doesn't. USPS Priority is actually going to be cheaper than Ground Advantage. Ground Advantage is $7.35. Priority is $7.20 on that. If I just used it, or reflexively just used a padded flat rate envelope, it would cost me an extra $1.10 on this order. Instead, I'm going to use the free USPS Tyvek envelope. It's going to go regular priority. And my thank you card's right here. This is going out to Scott. Thanks, Scott. You rock. Thanks for supporting my tiny little business, helping pay the rent. $7.20. That's going probably where it's easy. Proceeds from sales get donated to volunteer departments around the country. That's awesome. I didn't realize like how big of a deal, like how important volunteer fire departments are. But a friend of mine works for a volunteer fire department up in Banner Elk, North Carolina, which is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes from where we stand right now. And I didn't realize how like big of a deal that is. But you probably have volunteer fire departments around you, especially if you're in a more rural area, that have that are doing a lot for you and looking out for you, even in the middle of the night. So I could get behind that cause for sure. I know her fire department does a lot of like volunteer fire department does a lot of fundraiser stuff, and I know they sell like apparel and stuff too. That's where you see like a lot of those firefighter shirts that people rock. Those come from those fundraisers. That's really cool. Jeans always 10 to 15 in my local thrift stores, although I can get frequently for 20% off. Yeah, that's tough, Jeremy. We've talked about that before. I appreciate you bringing it up. I talk a lot about selling Levi's and Lucky Brand, which are, I mean, they're mediocre brands for resellers, but they're some of the best-selling brands in the world when it comes to jeans. But if you can't get them at a low cost of goods, it becomes very, very tough that you have to get really selective in what you're going to pick up for sure. Bigger sizes, non-blue sometimes does better, like black and gray. But hey, Val, what's up, Dusty? How are you? Good to see you in here. My sister and I are volunteer firefighters. We have a small business, Salty Axes Apparel. I freaking love it. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing all that and sending positive vibes to your business. I hope, and I love that your business is supporting the fire department too, but sending them positive vibes your way. That's really cool. I love hearing about what y'all are up to and what you're doing. There's so many like people just doing amazing things. Very bread and butter item right here. Polo Ralph Lauren. This is just one of those regular polo shirts, right? It's a cotton mesh polo. It's got the pony on the chest. Every thrift store in America, there's probably a few of these hanging right now. The difference with this one, two reasons I picked it up. A, it's a size XL, which sells a little better. Trisha, have a great day. Thanks for popping in. Trisha, no, I don't wash clothes before shipping unless they have stains I have to get out, or they're dirty, or they have bad smells. But otherwise, no. And I guess you figured out those prices through trial and error. Yeah, just pay attention, Trisha, to the prices that you're paying for shipping, right? And what eBay is charging if you're using eBay calculated shipping, and just pay attention to what the stuff is shipping for. Maybe even just take out a notebook, and every time a blazer, write blazers, right? And every time one sells, see how much it sells for, or whatever. But I have a feeling that your rates won't be much different than mine. Have a great day, Trisha. Thanks for being here. This was long sleeve also. So long sleeves in these polos tend to have a higher sell-through rate because there's a lower supply of them. So this is a eBay sale. That might be a 15-ounce rate. It is. It weighs in at 14 ounces. So we're going to print this label through eBay. It's going to go USPS Ground Advantage. We have 2 more eBay sales, and we're going to switch over to Poshmark. I think we definitely have 1 coffee order. We'll get that one out the door. Polo Ralph Lauren, Ground Advantage, 15-ounce rate. It's going from Asheville, North Carolina to Atlanta, so it's not going far. At a 15-ounce rate, that's going to be $5.93. $5.93. It's going to go in a 12x9 poly bag. These cost me about 6 cents a piece. I buy them by the thousand, so I get a cheaper unit cost. Any kind of packing materials, the more you buy, the cheaper the unit price is going to be. And it goes down pretty significantly. The difference between buying like 25, if I bought 25 of these, they'd probably be like, shoot, I don't know, they'd probably be like 50 cents a piece if I bought 25, but they're like 6 cents a piece when I buy 1,000. But do what makes sense for your business. I'm just sort of sharing. Definitely agree that black and gray denim sell better. Yeah, I think that's a good general rule of thumb. I wouldn't say it's like this crazy outlandish difference, but I would say in general it does help. Doing great. Tell your old man I said hello, Desty. He probably has no clue who I am, but I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. I picked up a men's Patagonia corduroy blazer for $20. Never seen one before. Neither have I. What are the comps showing for that one? I want to know. Andrea, thank you for sharing the live. That was really kind. That's really kind. Thank you, Stephen, for your order out the door. Every order counts. $5.93 was my shipping label on that. Let's walk through how much money I made. This is one of the most common items that you'll find at a thrift store is a Polo Ralph Lauren polo. So I bought it for $5. It sold for $29 plus $5.95 shipping. So the buyer is all in for $27 on that. After shipping, fees, and my initial cost of goods, $12.24 profit on that. That was a long sleeve one. Those some ones sell a little bit better. That took just over a month to sell, 34 days to sell that one too. Again, long sleeve polo. It's a polo shirt. Next eBay order. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'm going to start picking up. My husband calls you the blue coffee guy. That's awesome. I think that's a good thing. I tell him that I keep y'all in the loops. I appreciate that. 120 plus for the Patagonia corduroy blazer. That doesn't surprise me. That sounds about right. My gut was like saying like just in like the 1 to 120 range, but you're saying 120 plus. I trust you on that. That's awesome. Really cool find on that. This is actually the biggest sale of the weekend. It's not my biggest profit item because I paid $70 something for this off of Whatnot. It sold in 6 hours. It might have been 5. It might have been 7. I don't remember, but it sold last night and I was listing in the afternoon. It's a Polo Ralph Lauren Rugby, brand new with tags. MSRP is $198. It's Polo Sport. They brought back the Polo Sport line. They discontinued it. Maybe Reisner knows when they discontinued it. They discontinued Polo Sport a long time ago. I used to buy it in high school and rock all the polo. That's all I did was rock polo everything. Anyway, $198 on this. It sold for $115 plus $8.95 shipping. There was a lot of competition on this shirt for between $119 and $150. So I listed mine at $115, right below all those people. And I accepted. I put no offers on this on eBay. Just boom. I got the best price on the market. Come and get it if you want it. It took 6 hours to sell, and it got $115 plus $8.95 shipping. So the buyer is all in for $124 plus taxes on that, if they're in a tax place. This is definitely going to go at a 2-pound rate. It's going to Charleston, South Carolina, so it's not going very far. I bet your priority is the cheapest. So check this out. USPS Ground Advantage, $7.15 on this. $7.15, and priority is $7.20. So I'm going to ship this priority, and the reason why is I can use the USPS priority free shipping supplies instead of this poly bag, which cost me about 6 cents a piece. I can use this thing, which cost me 0 cents a piece. So I just saved us, this shipping is ultimately going to cost me 1 cent cheaper, and it's going to get to the customer cheaper, or it's going to get to the customer faster. It used to be that the benefit of doing priority too is you used to get insurance on priority and not on what used to be first class, but now Ground Advantage has the same insurance. But anyway, for me, this is cheaper to go priority, so it's going priority by 1 cent at the end of the day. Polo Sport ceased in 1998. Cool. I graduated high school in 1999, so I was rocking that Polo Sport right through high school. And now it's back. They also brought back the Denim and Supply, which is my favorite Ralph Lauren. Of course, I like the double RL. Of course, I like finding purple label, but I like that Denim and Supply line. They brought it back this year. They discontinued it in 2016, and they brought it back. And I got to be honest with you. Oh man, I didn't put my cookie cut in here. I got to be honest with you. What I've seen so far, I'm not liking the new Denim and Supply. They rebranded it as Polo Denim and Supply. It used to be Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply. So now they're putting like spell outs on the Denim and Supply. So they'll say like Ralph or say Polo Denim and Supply. They're putting ponies on it, which I never saw an older Denim and Supply that had a pony on it or a spell out. It was more Americana, Western style. I think they bastardized it. I think they ruined it. They brought it back and they made it stupid. At least from the stuff that I've seen. I don't like the new stuff. I like the old Denim and Supply. So I'm going to compete with them. I'm going to call it Peak and Supply. We're going to make it just like the old stuff. It's going to be Americana. It's got to be Western. There's going to be no ponies on it. There's going to be no spellouts. I'm going to bring it back just like it was from 2011 to 2016. I love that Denim and Supply stuff. Anyway, this is going out USPS priority, $7.20. It's going from Asheville to Charleston. Do we have any South Carolina in the house today? We have South Carolina representing. We usually have some South Carolina folks. Do you ever find purple label in the wild? From time to time, yeah. I found it a handful of times. My gut tells me I think I found it like something like 4 times in the wild, Cindy, over the years. Not a super common find. Obviously, I mean, those shirts brand new with purple label, like a shirt could cost you $500 to $1,200. So it's not like there's a ton of those things out there, right? You're going to find a lot more like Polo Ralph Lauren, which people are paying like $75 to $100 for, rather than finding shirts that are selling for $500 to $1,200. I'll do your manufacturing for the peak denim and supply. It's going to be peak and supply, Reisner, but I appreciate that. That's awesome. What's up, Big E? Big E's in the house. Big E is in the house. All right, so that two more eBays, right? One more eBay. Wrangler. This is a Big E type of sale right here. I feel like this is Big E vibes. We got a Wrangler George Strait. So not an awesome like high dollar sale, and it's a button up, not a. It's not one of those troubadours that has the diamond pearl snaps. It's with the crazy pattern. It's just a plaid button down. It's a size 3X. If you know what to look for in Wrangler, you can make money off Wrangler. I haven't calculated it for 2023 yet, but I think 2022, if I remember correctly, Wrangler was my number 4 brand in terms of units sold, because I find it a ton. If you price it right and you pick the right stuff, you can make good money off Wrangler. And that's like a Big E move, because Big E lives in Greenville, South Carolina. Speaking of South Carolina being in the house, South Carolina, Greenville is about just under an hour south of where I am right now. And there's not a big concentration of wealth in Greenville, just like there isn't in Asheville. So we don't have a lot of these high-end brands. So Big E is like, and I'm speaking a little bit for Big E. You can tell me where I'm wrong, brother. But we have to find, Roundtree York, bread and butter. We have to find the brands that are sort of like the mediocre reseller brands and figure out what are the right pieces to find from those brands, right? If that describes you, let me know down below in the chat too. The best places to thrift and garage sale, estate sale are these places where you have a lot of population and you have a high concentration of wealth. So I lived in Denver, a lot of population. It's a top 20 metro and high concentration of wealth in Denver, Colorado. So you can find some really, really good stuff. Then I lived in Tampa, Florida, right? It's a top 20, I think it's number 21 metro area in terms of size in the country, high concentration of wealth, a lot of retirees with a lot of money. So those places you can find some crazy, like high-end, good brand stuff. Asheville, there's, I think, 85, maybe 90,000 people in the Asheville area, like in Asheville in the city, and all the towns around it. Like the biggest town you're going to find is like 15,000. I think Hendersonville is like 15,000 people. And then there's like towns that are like 500, 700, 1,200, right? Not a lot of people, and there's not a lot of wealth, right? There's not a ton of good jobs here. It's not a white collar sort of place. Nobody's working for Google. There's no Amazon like offices down the street with software engineers and stuff. That doesn't exist here. It doesn't exist so much in Greenville, although Greenville has better jobs down there. You got BMW and stuff like that. But anyway, we got to find the bread and butter brands like Wrangler, and we got to figure out what is it that you like, what are the right things to pick from those brands? Because not all Wrangler is going to make sense. Not all Roundtree and York is going to make some sense. Not all LL Bean is going to make some sense. But if you can learn what to pick up from those brands and you can start to get good at it, you can make money and you can build a reselling business that will pay your bills. And that's really what this channel has evolved into for me, is not so much like the fire that I used to find. It's more of like, all right, how do I find the good bread and butter stuff that will still sell and still have a good sell-through rate? So if that describes you, let me know down below in the chat. We can't all live in those big metro areas, although a lot of the country is concentrated in that. We have to make money in our less big areas too. I'm excited I could pop in and watch this today. I work full-time in today's holiday, so I'm home. Nice, little J75. Welcome over on Instagram. Good to have you. What types of stuff do you resell, little J? Or are you just getting started? Or tell us a little bit about your journey and where you're at. Cousin Craig's in the house over on YouTube. What's up, brother? Happy MLK Day. Can you believe 55 years since Dr. King was assassinated? 55 years at the young age of 39 years old. Think about how much he accomplished and how much influence he still has to this day. And he never even made it to his 40th birthday. Kind of crazy. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, I think, when he was 34 years of age. Isn't that wild? It's just really impressive stuff. All right. Wrangler. To have that kind of legacy. is just that's kind of wild to me. It's just really, really impressive stuff. Wrangler. This is the George Strait. This is going to go at a 15-ounce rate. It's going to go USPS Ground Advantage. It's going to go in a 12x9 poly bag. It's going to be $6.07. It's going from Asheville, North Carolina to Green Forest, Arkansas. Do we have Arkansas in the house today? Green Forest. That's a great town name, by the way. Yeah, impressive for sure. Hope you're doing well, cousin Craig. That's my cousin Craig in the chat. 100% fat guy. If you want a bolo check, guys, if you want a bolo check jeans, I sold $123. Check out my video. I'll be on the lookout. Big E's got a video for you. He's teasing it. He wants you to go watch his video. If you're not following Big E, that dude knows how to find bread and butter stuff that sells. If that describes you, if your area doesn't have many people and as much fire, the high-end stuff, follow Big E. He's going to teach you what you need to be looking for. His sister passed away a few months ago. I don't think I knew that. That's sad to hear. Getting ready to get started on selling my closet, eBay and Poshmark, the best. Yeah, I would suggest, Andy, get started. Choose one, eBay or Poshmark. They're both great platforms. If you're thinking about, if you have inclinations that this could be a long-term thing for you, and you could grow this into, a side hustle and maybe a side business, and then maybe a legit part-time job as second income, I would suggest eBay, because you're probably always going to have better sales on eBay. There's just more people on there. I always have more sales on eBay most months. Some months Poshmark wins, but in general, eBay is going to be your better platform. Pick one to get started. That's my strong suggestion. And own that platform. Know it inside, out, upside down before you start getting into the mess of multiple platforms, because you're going to need a system down. You're going to want to stay really organized. If you start with 2 platforms, and some people can do it. There's going to be somebody in the chat who's like, I started with 2 platforms and I crush it. And that's awesome. There's different ways to do this thing. I would suggest own a platform. Get really good at that platform. Once you get a good system down, then duplicate it on a second platform. Because if you're doing things, and when you're early on, you're going to make mistakes more than somebody who's been doing this a long time. I still make mistakes, but you're going to have more mistakes, and your system isn't going to be as efficient as it will be at one point in time. As you grow, you'll get better at this thing. It's just the nature of any business. You're going to get better at it over time. But when you have multiple platforms and you're cross-listing and you do that too early, you're duplicating mistakes. So if your pictures suck and you're cross-listing, your pictures are just going to suck in more places. If your listings aren't, don't have the right details in them, condition descriptions, and then you're just duplicating that with cross-listing, you're just doubling crap. So get really good at reselling first on one platform, whatever one is your choice. eBay or Poshmark are 2 great places to start. Poshmark's going to be easier to learn. And then start duplicating things once you get better listings and a better system down. I think I started with both, and this is the dumbest thing I've done. It was overwhelming. I thought for sure, user 491, that you were going to be that person that says like, no, Chris, you're wrong. You can start on 2. And I believe you can. And you did it, but you saw some of the challenges. You're just duplicating, and I'm sorry, you're duplicating, I'll be nice, imperfect stuff. Or you could say you're duplicating crap by cross-listing early on, because you just haven't figured out. When I first got started, I was still figuring out all this crap, figuring out what to buy and all that stuff. Master one before spreading out. Big E says it too, and that guy does a lot more volume than I do. There's been a big celebration here in Atlanta. That's good to hear. I started with both, and I saw that and noted it in my list. Doing well, enjoying the holiday, cleaned up from last week's snow just in time for more tomorrow. Good old New England. How much snow did y'all get last week? I haven't really been in touch. How much did you get last week, and how much is coming your way? We have, since we moved back to Asheville last October 1st, we've got 0.2 inches of snow here in Asheville. In the valley, there's snow if you go up to the peaks. It's probably melted now, but we'll get like a snow here and there up in the mountains. We have no snow so far this year. And it's January 15th, but we can get a storm in April. You just never know. Last year, it got really cold in late, what was it? It was early March is when we got like our coldest weather last year. So go figure. Scott, thank you. We're like all over the place. I'm trying to ship. Y'all are chatty, and I like that, because that's why I'm on here. If I wanted to ship fast, I would just be by myself and not be live. I wanted to talk to y'all. I've had an eBay account since 2005. I've sold here and there, and I found my favorite ex-postman from Florida. I got excited again, but I'm not organized at all. ADHD gets in the way a lot. Love learning from you guys. It's awesome. OG eBay. My first eBay account, I think, was from like 1996 or 1997. I no longer have that account. I lost whatever email address was associated with that account and got locked out of it. But 2005 is pretty OG eBay. But man, I was like way back, like send payment with checks and stuff, like way back, kind of crazy old times. I wasn't on continuously. Like I used to just do eBay for fun back in the day. But appreciate you being here, little Jay. 13 inches last week. Jeez, that's a lot for your neck of the woods. And I think 4 inches tomorrow. Jeez, man, piling it up. That's one thing I love 4 seasons. But what I don't miss, 2 things I don't miss about New England, about the winters. One, you get a lot more like consistent gray cold, which can be really depressing sometimes, which is why I skied a lot, because then I would root for snow and then be happy about snow when everyone else was mad about snow. Be like, yeah, let's snow because I want to go skiing. But I don't miss all that grayness and just the consistent cold. And then what you do is you get a snowstorm. The second thing I don't like is you get a snowstorm last week for 13 inches, like Craig said, and then you're going to get another. Like it doesn't all go away yet. It's still there. Maybe 9 inches of it is left, and now you're going to get another 4 that drops down on top of it, right? And it just doesn't go away. You never see ground for a long, long time. I don't miss that stuff. Chris Hiller's in the house. He knows all about that stuff. All right. eBay is all. Oh, we got one. Oh, we got an eBay sale that just came in. I'm not going to go out to the garage. I'll probably do that at the end. We just got an LL Bean shirt sale that came in just now. Okay. Cha-ching. So let's go over to Poshmark. We got some sales over there to do. Poshmark shipping is so freaking easy. I love Poshmark shipping. Poshmark can learn a thing or two from, or eBay can learn a thing or two from Poshmark for sure. When bidding was fun, now it's just buy it now. Exactly. eBay used to be all auction stuff. I just got a Poshmark sale too, a good one, a $79 Poshmark sale, but we'll grab that at the end. We'll ship what's already sold and I got in the office here. So we'll start off with a Brooks Brothers Argyle piece. I don't pick up all Brooks Brothers, but we have 2 Brooks Brothers sales today. Where'd the other one go? Yep, we got 2 Brooks Brothers sales today. Here's one of them, Argyle sweater vest. This one's a cashmere cotton blend. Even just 8% cashmere makes a big difference with sell-through rate and sales price. Always, always, always keep your eye out for cashmere. It takes a mediocre brand like Brooks Brothers and makes, in turns, like elevates it. It's a huge +1. This is only 8% cashmere, and it still does that. If it's 100% cashmere, it's like a +2 in terms of sell-through rate and value. Running laps this morning on some fresh quality, loose granular. Where were you doing laps today? And I love like Mondays. Oh, Monday. Was it busy up there? This is like MLK weekend. This is usually one of the top 2 busiest ski weekends of the year, MLK Day. It's usually packed. Maybe not so bad on Monday, but the weekend is crazy, crazy town. Because, long weekend, 3 days. My eBay account dates to 1997. That's awesome, Jeremy. Originally sold vintage toys and video games, but this past year started selling clothing as a side hustle. Much easier to ship clothing and toys. Yeah, much easier to store and all that stuff too, for sure. That's awesome. We get an OG in the house. Jeremy's in the house. Fashion Flip. My phone just buzzed. Was that you with the coffee order? All right. You know the deal. If you order coffee during the live, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to get that shipped out for you right away. We got another coffee order I got to get out the door too. I'm just noticing. But Raphael, since you're right here and I'm seeing it, and you said it in the chat, I'm assuming that's you, right? Fashion Flip. You're Raphael. We got a coffee order. We'll ship it out with a big dose of gratitude. Raphael, you are awesome. I don't care what anyone else in the chat says. You are good people. I don't think anyone else said anything. If anyone says something, I'll be mad. I just realized I'm on my reseller account. That's all right. Fashion Flip. We got a coffee order going out. We got the OG. We got a medium blend, peak roast, peak blend going out the door. It's fair trade. It's organic, and this is single origin from Chiapas, Mexico. This comes from a small coffee cooperative just outside of San Cristobal de Casas. No, San Cristobal de las Casas, right outside. It's in the highlands in Chiapas, Mexico, which is the southernmost state. Very close to the border of Guatemala is where this coffee comes from. It's from a cooperative of coffee farms. Handwritten thank you card for everybody, all orders, eBay, Poshmark, chris@peak.com, TikTok shop, whatever. If you order something from me, you're getting a handwritten thank you card. You pay the rent. If this, the goal is you get this card. Maybe it makes you smile. It reminds you how much I appreciate your business too. This is a medium roast ground. Remember, we have it in ground. We have it in whole bean. We also have it in French press grind if that's your speed too. So there we go. Roasted fresh every Thursday, medium roast. You're always looking for these logos. If you want good coffee, whether it's mine or somebody else's, look for these 3 logos. USDA organic, fair trade certified. That means that the people who took care of these beans along the way have been taken care of. It's not commodity priced coffee that people get for, the big corporations pay really cheap money for, and it's basically slave labor. This is like relationships with farms, taking care of people. That's that fair trade piece. The other thing you want to look for is single origin, which is this. This comes from, the beans all come from one cooperative of farms that are growing the same bean. That's where you're going to get the best freaking coffee. Whether you get it from me or someone else, I want you to get it from me. We roast it fresh every Thursday. We ship it to you with big dose of gratitude like this. Why not? Support a small business, support Dynamite. They're the #1 coffee roaster 11 years in a row here in Western North Carolina, which is crazy. Support a small business. It feels good. Otherwise, all we're going to have is Walmarts and Amazon. That's all we're going to have the rest of our life if we don't support small business. Walmart, Amazon, and McDonald's. Get off my hand. What do you think of J. Crew? I wear a lot of J. Crew. For reselling, I don't really pick. I'd probably pass on 99.99% of J. Crew. But you can find yourself like a little cashmere piece, for example, and that could be a good pickup. This is going to Lawrenceville, Georgia. That's not going very far. You're going to get this in just a couple days. It's going to go out tomorrow, so Tuesday. My guess is Thursday, maybe Friday that you'll have this. Raphael, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Get your shipping label printed right out here off a pirate ship. Good afternoon, Mary. How are you? Just got a sale for international shipping. Never did that before. Can you print that on a thermal printer, or do you have a print that on a regular paper just because it says no to include extra taxes? Mary, what platform did you get that international sale? Congrats on your sale, by the way. What did you sell? But what platform is that on before we go into a big diatribe and try to answer that your question for you? What platform was it on? And what's just I guess start there. What platform? What do you think of JFU? You use Pirate Chip. I'm using it right now. He is awesome, and they are all awesome in the chat. Wife called me a -3 again. That's awesome. Another bread and butter for me is use cycling jersey. Freaking Biggie loves those cycling jerseys. Chris, check my recent post of Old Orchard destroyed by storms. Oh, really? Old Orchard Beach? I'll have to check that out. Dang, sorry to hear that. A beautiful area. I know that's your neck of the woods right there. I used to like going to Algonquin. I thought that was just a rad little funky, weird beach community, tourist community too, but you know what I mean. Algonquin. Was that the Stage Neck Inn? Is that like really nice inn there? My grandparents used to like going there back in the day. In the business, the restaurant that I worked for, we threw a annual party at the Stage Neck Inn. But that wasn't in Algonquin. That was in was that Wells Beach? Where was that? I'm trying to remember Stage Neck now. Isn't Pirate Ship the same rates as eBay? It depends. It depends, Chris. If you have an item that is both small and heavy, so say like you have something that's going to go out at a 3-pound rate, and it's small, like it's it's like this. It's small, but it's 3 pounds. Pirate Ship offers something called the cubic rate, and they offer a cubic rate both for ground advantage and for priority. So that cubic rate is it doesn't care about the weight. It's only taking into account the measurements of the item, so how big it is and how far it's going. So we just shipped out something that was going out at a 2-pound rate earlier. I saved $1.13 by using the ground advantage cubic rate from Pirate Ship that eBay doesn't offer. They don't offer cubic rates on eBay. I'm not sure why. I don't know, but they don't. So sometimes it can save you money. eBay and Rubik Cube, nice. And Marble Mazes, nice. Okay, cool. So you probably sold that through eBay's international shipping program. If that's true, then they're going to give you a shipping label that is just to Is it Indiana? Is it Illinois? I forget where it used to be Kentucky, but now I think it's Indiana or Illinois. So you're not going to have an international address. If you look at the label, it'll actually have a domestic address. So you're going to ship that via whatever's cheapest for you. USPS Priority, USPS Ground Advantage, UPS, whatever it may be. Ship it however you want. You're just going to ship it to that location, and then eBay is going to take care of the rest from there to get it internationally. So if it went through eBay's international shipping program, I think is what they call it, then that's what you'll see. Let me know if that's what you're seeing, Mary. Illinois. Okay, we got it. It's Illinois. They're like the same state, aren't they? It's like the same thing. I don't know. I've only been to like Chicago, and I drove through a little bit of Illinois one time. Do you sell a brand shirt called 7 Diamonds? I don't know that brand. Is it worth reselling? I don't know all the brands. I just know a little bit of it. Pretty much. Sorry if you live in Indiana or Illinois and you're like, no, our identity is different. This is important to me. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of goofing around. Brooks Brothers going out the door. Raphael, thank you so much for that coffee order. That's freaking awesome. That means a lot to me. I think you're going to love the coffee. We had the dark roast this morning, but the medium roast is our go-to. It's very smooth. It's very balanced. Little hint of chocolate, little hint of spice, but it is a very, very well-rounded daily driver. If you haven't tried Chris at Peak coffee yet, I think the best place to start is the medium roast. It's very, very balanced, very, very smooth. I think you'll find it very agreeable. It's a great, like, if you're going to step up from whatever coffee that you're drinking right now and you want to step up into something that's a little bit better or a lot better, try with the medium roast and then kind of work out. If you like the medium roast, then we can try some light roast or some dark roast and kind of play with it from there. Talking trash about Illinois. I don't know enough about it to even talk trash about it. This is the 4th or 5th bag I ordered. I know I get Raphael going out the door all the time. I see you and I appreciate every single one. You get a handwritten thank you card every single time. And I call you out on live whenever it's happening on the live. Yep, I just sold an international shipping program item. I was all confused for a moment. It just takes a second. You'll figure it out. Abby's in the house. What's up, Abby? Good afternoon. Is it snowing in your neck of the woods? No snow here. Are you getting snow out there? They said we might get snow. It has like a snow look. It's very gray. It looks like it's going to precipitate at any moment, but I don't see any snow right now. Are you getting snow out there? You're just on the other side of the mountains from me. Thank you, Raphael. I really, really appreciate it. I think you know that. Yes, international shipping program. Just not sure if I should ship it with a thermal label or have a print off a regular printer label. If you can, I print them off a thermal printer. I printed off a thermal, but I guess that's up to you. For some reason, it has my name and comment I made on your screen. Do other people see it? For some reason, it has my name and a comment I made on your screen. Oh, maybe I accidentally highlighted it. Sorry. I'm just noticing that. I must have clicked it on accident. Now you're off. But I always forget to like highlight them. Look at that. We'll highlight that one too. Mary, thank you very much. You're welcome. I always forget you can highlight them. That was an accident. Coffee in it. 4 inches and still snowing really in Knoxville. That's a lot of snow for Knoxville, ain't it? And you're in like Knoxville proper, right? You're not like out in the sticks. 4 inches in Knoxville. That's got to be a big storm for Knoxville. How much do you average per year? We get 11 inches per year in Asheville. Last year we got 0.2 inches. But 4 seems like a lot for Knoxville. Hope he has a 15-minute commute to work. His work sent everyone home, took him an hour to get home. That's so funny. If we got 4 inches in New Hampshire, where I grew up, you wouldn't even like, if somebody called in and said they're going to be late for 4 inches, you'd be like, what do you mean you're going to be late? It's 4 inches. Just get here. But it's just different. You know, the road, they have snow plows, salt, you know, it's the infrastructure for snow is a lot different. I can imagine that's a lot for freaking Knoxville. No on 7 Diamonds for me. Gotcha. I don't know that one. I don't know. What's up, Instagram? Instagram's quiet. But we've had a few people hanging out on Instagram. If you're just jumping into the live, say hello. Let me know where you're joining from. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. That helps me out. Dropping comments down below helps me out. TikTok, tapping the screen, that helps me out. Or just hang out. Either way, it's fine. You do what you want. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But you should buy some coffee, unless you don't like coffee. And then, you know, that's fine. Then buy the coffee. But it'd be cool if you did. And I would ship it out right now with a big dose of gratitude. And we do have a coffee order. We got a TikTok shop order going out the door. I missed this one sneak in. Oh, that's the coffee lovers box. We'll get that out. Let's do that one right now. Let's do the coffee lovers box. It'll be fun. And then we'll do some more Poshmark orders, including this Brooks Brothers cashmere. Got some cool stuff going out the door too. I got another Brooks Brothers too. So, this isn't it. But this is what just sold. So this is going on. Kim K sent a gift to Bob. It's great as a gift, But I think this is also great. Like, buy it for yourself. The freaking popcorn is ridiculous. It's local to Asheville. It's called Poppy's Popcorn. I got 3 different flavors. If you want to learn more about that, let me know. You get 2 bags of coffee, your choice. I'll put whatever 2 bags you want in there. It's got soap in there from Carol Ann's Creations from Travelers Rest, South Carolina, about 40 minutes from where I stand. Carol Ann makes awesome local soap, and it's natural soap, and it's made with the oils from Chris at Pete Coffee. It doesn't really smell coffee, but you get a little bit of the chocolate from the medium roast, and it's got a little thing of coffee to sweeten up your tea, or you sweeten up your coffee. Throw a little local honey in there from a apiary in Bakersville, North Carolina. Beautiful little box. It's a great gift. It's also, buy it for yourself. There's some good. Kim and I crushed that popcorn probably more than we should, to be honest with you. Let's get this shipped out. Oh, I already put in the thank you card. It's already built. This is the one that's going out. Actually, Kim built it up a few minutes ago. This is going out to Bob from Kim K. Thank you, Kim K. Got a thank you note in there. We got a Chris at Peak sticker in there. We got 2 bags of the ground winter light roast, which is our seasonal light roast. Right now it's winter. The tasting notes for the winter light roast are toffee with a T, graham cracker, and chocolate. It is delicious. And remember, this is not flavored coffee. That's just the natural flavors from the beans themselves and the roasting process. The light roast is also fair trade, organic, and it's a single origin, which is a big deal. Single origin is expensive. The Coffee Lovers box is $45.95. This one's going out the door for $35.95 and free shipping. $35.95 and free shipping. No, sorry. The Coffee Lovers box is $55.95. I should know my own prices. And it's going out for $35.95. So $20 off. Kim K had a 40% off coupon on TikTok Shop. That coupon isn't from me. That's from TikTok. You might want to check. Click your name up above on click my name and go click the shop icon about halfway down my profile. You might have a crazy discount. And this saved her $20. And again, TikTok's eating that $20, that 40% off, not me. So it's good for me. I get full price from TikTok. Kim K gets a great deal for her friend Bob here on this box. And it works. It's actually a good deal for TikTok too, as they're trying to grow their platform. Somebody like Kim K getting a great deal on a product here from somebody that they trust helps out TikTok and helps people gain trust in TikTok, which used to be the dancing platform. It's the platform that all those politicians wanted to grandstand and shut down because China was stealing all our dance move secrets. You know, there's a lot of negativity about TikTok and stuff out there. Some of it deserved, probably most of it not. So they're trying to like build up credibility with the platform. So why not use credibility from me and the relationship that I have of trust with Kim K to build that up? That's why they give you that 40% off coupon. Sometimes you have a 10% off coupon. Sometimes you get a 20% off coupon. Sometimes there won't be a coupon at all. In this case, 40% off. And this is free shipping, by the way, too. These things ship. It's like I think on my website, the shipping on these is $11. I think it's $10 shipping. So free shipping is a big deal on this, too. So she's really saving about $30 on this box, which is awesome. I'm really happy. And you're supporting 5 local small businesses, including Carol Ann from Travelers Rest, who's part of our reselling community here, too. It's actually Big E's girlfriend. Y'all still together, right? Before I say that out loud, I already said it out loud. The soap only has 2 to 4 ingredients. Exactly. I could read those ingredients. I think it's on the back here. I should know the ingredients. Look at the soap. Look how nicely that's packaged and stuff, too. I use this soap, by the way. I use it every single morning. I don't really talk about my shower routine too much on here. It's kind of strange. But I use this soap every single morning. And the reason I use it is, well, I like to get high on my own supply. But it's really good for my skin. I get really dry skin. It's also, I get really like dry scalp. This is a lot of like information. I just use this bar. I don't use shampoo and conditioner anymore. I just use this bar for all of the stuff, just from this one bar. So when you buy local 4 ingredient soap like this, it tends to be more expensive. Yes, but now I don't have to have like 5 different things in my freaking in my shower. I just use that for everything, and it's really actually helped with my dry scalp. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. And I was like, really, I should be using that soap on my for my shampoo. That's kind of crazy. And then I started using it, and I was like, holy crap, that's actually good. So I start my mornings with coffee in the shower too. Let's get this all shipped out for Kim K. This is going to Bob. And if you want me to make a handwritten thank you card, if you're giving it as a gift, obviously, if you want, just let me know and I'll put a note to whoever it's going out to. I'll put a thank you note for them. I can write whatever you want on that note. All right, we'll get this shipped out. 13 by 12 by full long run. Buy one shipping label. Boom. All the stuff. They were as of last night. Gotcha. You shower what? On occasion. I don't use anything else. I'm not just saying that. No more 5 different soaps. Exactly. I'm not just saying that either. Like, it's obvious why I wanted to support Carol Ann's business in this box too. This box is meant to be a collection of local small business that we wanted to support and share with everybody. And we think that the local Western North Carolina businesses are awesome. They do great stuff, and we wanted to support them. We want to support small businesses, family businesses. Instead of just indiscriminately giving our money to the big corporations, we want to give some to the small businesses. That's what makes our local communities awesome, is to have these small businesses. So we wanted to support that. We love Carol Ann. We wanted to support her. I didn't use her soap before this, but we tried it. We ordered some soap from her. We were checking it out. I had this idea of making this box, and I was wondering, I was like, I think we can make soap with the coffee. And I kind of kept that. I didn't tell Carol Ann this as I was ordering soaps from her, like other flavors. I didn't tell her that I had inklings to make a box, that featured the soap. Just wanted to try it out. I didn't want her to give me anything special. I wanted to see like really what it tasted like. Thank you, Kim K. This is going out to Bob. He's gonna freaking love it. It's an awesome gift. I think everyone feels good when they know a gift comes from like a local small business. It just feels better, I think. I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, the coffee. So yeah, so we started using the soaps, and then she's like, "Hey, you should try using it as your shampoo too." I was like, "Really? Okay." I was trying to ask her like, how do I sell soap? I don't even know how to talk about soap. Like, that's not really my business, right? So she was talking me through some things, and she's like, "This one bar of soap can replace all of the things. You like the sweater? You like the Kuji?" So I was like, "Well, that's a good selling point." And I started using it as my shampoo, and I actually really like it. Little Kuji piece for you. The whole show tomorrow night is loaded up. Well, I should say 41 of the items. We're going to run a 50-item auction tomorrow night on Whatnot. There's a link in my profile down below if you want to check out that show. Everything has photos, descriptions in it, and everything. You can see all the items I'm running, at least 41. I'll always add some last minute to keep you on your toes. We'll add some last-minute fire in there. But if you want to check out that show, link down below. You also get a 15% off by using that link, a 15% credit if you sign up through that link in my profile, or you can get it at chris@peak.com. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, the link is down below. You can click on it, you can sign up, you get $15. Why freaking not? We run fire every Tuesday and Thursday now. We added a Thursday show. Let's ship out this Argyle sweater, this one that we were talking about this Argyle sweater a little while ago, and then we get some coffee orders. Thanks for your coffee orders. Thank you, Kim K. And thank you, Raphael, for your coffee orders. That's our side hustle now. The main hustle is the reselling. The side hustle is the coffee business. Just like you might have a full-time job and reselling is your side hustle. Now reselling is my full-time. Coffee is my side hustle. This Brooks Brothers has cashmere in it. That's why it sold quickly. I listed this 10 days ago, and it sold on Poshmark for full asking price, $25. Men's size large, cotton, cashmere. The cashmere is only 8%. It still makes a difference. Even 5%. I'll find cashmere that's like 5% cashmere, and I'll still pick it up. It's still a +1. The Argyle pattern's a nice +1 on this too. Sold for $25. Brooks Brothers with cashmere can sell for 30+. If this is a full sweater, and in a big size too, like I could have sold that for $30 to $35. But this was a sweater vest. They tend to sell a little bit cheaper, usually the vest and the full sweater. But $25 on this. Order's going out to Mary. Thanks, Mary. Anyway, I had oily hair. Not with her soap, it's soft all the time. Now with her soap, it's soft all the time. Nice. K-Way Shop is in the house. What is up, Kayla? How's the roommate doing? Out the door. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate you. Next up is an LL Bean. I don't pick up LL Bean, but this is one of those brands, just like Brooks Brothers, if you learn what to pick up from these mediocre brands that have lower sell-through rates because there's so much supply out there. If you learn what to pick up, you can make yourself a lot of money, maybe even pay all your bills. LL Bean, men's size, large, tall. Those tall sizes are always a little bit better sell-through rate. Sometimes they sell for a few extra bucks too. This one sold for $32. I thought it was $28. Sold for $32. Size large, tall, LL Bean. That's actually like a Y2K tag, that DoubleTree LL Bean right there. You could call it vintage if you wanted to. Did I call it? I didn't call it vintage in the listing, but $32. Flannel. If you want to sell them fast, price this at like 27 or 28 and it'll move pretty quickly. I don't know why I'm putting these in these blue bags. I should put them in a tie bag. This is Poshmark shipping. Free from USPS.com, these tie bag envelopes. This is going out to Melinda. Thanks, Melinda. You rock. Thanks for supporting our small little business. Sustainable shopping is great. You get stuff for cheaper. You keep stuff out of landfills. You're not putting children in China to work making your shirt. Again, give this shirt a second life. Support a small business. Not child labor. All right, that LL Bean is going out the door to Louisville, Kentucky. It's going out priority. Post office closed today, but this will go out tomorrow. We'll get this shirt on Thursday. Thanks for the answer this morning on the women's Levi's jeans. You're welcome, Mary. I just don't do a lot of shopping in the women's section of the thrift store, so Levi's women's jeans might be okay. My gut tells me that they usually sell for a little bit less than Levi's men's jeans, which makes probably the profit margin not worth it. But I'm sure there are some models and some sizes that are probably worth picking up. I will pick up new with tag Levi's, like retail arbitrage, sometimes if I can get a good deal on them. Let me know down below, y'all, what kind of sales did you have over the weekend? I want to hear what's moving out the door for you. I'm kind of all over the place. We got some short sleeve, we got some long sleeves, we got some sweaters, we got some blazers, we got some jeans. Still definitely jean season. We got another, Brooks Brothers is another great example. If you live in some of these smaller areas that don't have as much money and people don't wear all the high-end brands, Brooks Brothers is a great seller for me. It's usually, well, every year it's in my top 5 in terms of number of units sold. A lot of people tell me Brooks Brothers doesn't sell anymore. They comment on all my videos. They're like, it's a race to the bottom in price. You're not selling any of those. They're just sitting in your garage. You don't sell anything. You sell low-end garbage. Nobody's buying all that stuff. 2 Brooks Brothers going out the door today. You can listen to that noise, or you can listen to the guy who's been sharing this information with you for free for 3.5 years about my business. I'm still in this business and still somehow turning the lights on, even though all these people are convinced that this stuff doesn't sell. The reason I picked this one up is it's a size extra large. It's got a really nice pattern, which makes a big deal on Brooks Brothers. That's not a really common pattern, like this old school stripy pattern. It's a nice modern, bright colors. And it has the little golden fleece logo, the sheep right there on the chest. Those 3 things are going to help the sell-through rate on that. That sold for $19. It was listed for a week. So there you go. People tell me that's never going to sell. It's just going to sit out in your garage. Yeah, it sat out there for a whole freaking 7 days. And then I sold it. I priced it below market value at $19, so it sold quick. I sold one that I shipped out on Friday. It's sold for $21 too. So you could price it that way too. I'm just trying to move a lot of inventory right now, so I'm pricing these below market. $19 on this Brooks Brothers, going out Poshmark. I forget to put the freaking thing. I'm talking smack. Whatever. People can talk smack on my videos all the time. I'm allowed to talk back a little bit. I don't much, because I just know that these people are trying to either A, flex and pretend that they're smarter than me and just sound smart because they don't create any content. They don't teach anybody anything. They just want to sound smart. That's one thing. Or they literally just don't know what the hell they're talking about, or both. I think I sold 80. I shared this in a recent post. I think the number was over 80 Brooks Brothers pieces in 2023. But Brooks Brothers doesn't sell. I don't know how to talk or type. I had, see the post office was closed, but I had sales delivered today. So Raphael, they have contracts like for example with Amazon where they ship on holidays too. They even ship on Sundays on some of those contracts, but they won't pick up my packages, that sort of thing. Also, thanks for the answer. Do you list higher than average selling price to be able to make offers? So I'd use two different strategies, Becky. It's a great question. So, and it kind of depends on the item, and there's not really a perfect science to this. I always try to try different things. Certain things that worked 3 years ago don't really work the way they use now. Like markets change, buyer behavior changes a little bit. So I do two different things. One, on eBay, I'll list items. So say the average price is $22. Over the last 90 days, the average sale price for that item is $22. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll list the item for $20 or $19 and accept no offers on eBay, right? So I'm like, I'm already better than most other people in the market. So come and get it. And I call it my come and get it price. So sometimes I'll do that with no offers. The other thing is I'll do that same $22 item. Maybe I'll price it at 24 or 25 and accept offers, right? And accept an offer down to like 19 or $20, right? To me, it's, 6 one way, half dozen the other sort of thing. So I'm experimenting with some different strategies to see what works. And it's kind of hard to pin down what works the best. Try some different things, see what works for your business. Some people do free shipping. I do ad shipping. I've done free shipping in the past. I experiment with different things. I haven't experimented with free shipping in years, though. It might be worth another experiment like that because, again, what happened when I experimented with the last 4 years ago or 5 years ago might be a little bit different than now. Another brand that people tell me doesn't sell, that's junk. Nobody buys that stuff. Polo Ralph Lauren. This is a t-shirt, but you got to know what to look for. This thing's got two things going for it. 2+1s. It's a size 2 extra big, which is a big size. Big sizes are going to sell better. 2XB is different than 2XL. It's also different than 2XLT. It's a very specific size that people look for. So it's a lower supply, which means it's not necessarily higher demand. It's just lower supply. And you're selling at the intersection between supply and demand, right? So lower supply item generally is going to help your sales. Polo is one of the best-selling brands in the world. That sold for full asking price, $25 for a used t-shirt because it was size 2XB and because of that pattern. If that was plain, I don't think I would have got 25, maybe 22, but 25 probably because of the combination of the size and that that's a really cool stripy pattern that you don't see too often. And some of that stuff, when I say like, hey, I don't see this pattern too often, you're not going to have that same insight on your first week or your first month going to the thrift store or going to garage sales or going to estate sales or going to retail arbitrage. You're not going to have that same instinct like, oh, I know the common patterns versus the not common patterns. It would be unreasonable to think that you would have that sort of like second level knowledge. But over time, that's where you're going to develop it. And it's like the repetition, that's being curious, that's just, staying consistent and doing this all the time. You'll build that up too. There's no good way to become a chef except for cooking a lot. And it's the same thing with becoming a full-time reseller. You just got to resell a lot. Just like if you want to be a chef, you got to cook a lot. And that means being a fry cook. And that means being in the dish pit. And that means working on the grill and the saute station and all the different things. Finally becoming a sous chef. Maybe you're writing some specials finally for the first time, right? You don't just jump in and become a chef. It takes years and years of practice. I don't care what school you go to, like Cordon Bleu, what's that one up in Rhode Island, that high-end like culinary school. I don't care what school you go to. You're not walking out of the school and becoming a chef. You have to go work for years after that school. And the same thing as retail. You can watch all my videos. You can watch all of anybody's videos. You can watch Barry D's videos about carbon monoxide. You can take in all this content on YouTube. But you still got to go do this stuff. Just like chefs can't walk out of chef school and all of a sudden be a chef. Guess what? They're a fry cook. They're a smart fry cook. But they still got to work their way up and they got to learn how to work in a commercial kitchen, which is just a different ballgame. Southern Tide here. This is a retail arbitrage pickup. I picked up 3 of these. I think I paid $25 a piece, and this one sold on a best offer for $50. So 25 and a 50, my margin on there, Poshmark's going to take 20%. That's $10 in fees. So that's down to $40. My margin on this is $15. And that's actually a little bit less than $15 because I paid $25 plus taxes on this item. So I'll probably end up making about $13 profit on this item that I paid $25 for. But the reason I picked it up is I'm like, well, there's 3 of them. So it's an easy one listing, one round of pictures, one round of measurements, right? And it can sell 3 times. So I should make, and I listed it for 59 and I took an offer for 50, but I should make 13 times 3 for the same amount of work that it would take me to make, to sell one used shirt. So that's why I'm willing to pay $75, $25 a piece for 3 of these, because it's a multi-quantity. So dollars per hour is up. Of course, when you buy a lot of retail arbitrage, crap, I forgot to put my thank you note on. It's like the 3rd time I did that today. I never do that. The thing with the negative to retail arbitrage is it ties up a lot of your cash. So you're going to be wanting to pick up items that are, I should be using one of these anyway. You're going to want to pick up items that are going to sell a little bit quicker in most cases too, because you don't want to be sitting on that $75 invested in 3 shirts. I don't want to be sitting on that for 6 months. I want to get those 3 shirts up and out quick, get some of my money back. How many items do you currently have on eBay, and do you have a minimum goal? I'm scaling the business back up to where it used to be right now. So currently I'm at 700 and I just sold a couple items on the live actually too. I gotta go grab. I'm at 731. I started the live, I think, at 734. So we sold a few things. And I'm working my way back up to 1,000 is what I'm on. So back in October the 15th, I had 394 listings. And decided it's time to start building it up because I've been working on other projects, including the coffee project. I launched Whatnot, so I sell now twice a week on Whatnot. Do 250 item a week shows over there. So that's 100 plus sales a week over on Whatnot. So I launched that in July. Launched coffee in April. Started doing apparel, like my own branded apparel back in, started launching this through the summer, May, June, July, August, started launching products through that too. So I was looking the other way, away from the reselling business for a little while. And now we're scaling it back up. Oops, gotta put the shipping label on it. It's not gonna go very far. So by the end of the month, we'll be up over 800 listings on eBay and Poshmark again. And the goal is by the end of March that we'll be running 800 total units in and out the door every month out of this little home business. Again, 2-bedroom place. This is one of the bedrooms is the office to Command Central, and the garage is storage. So the goal is to be up and running 18 units between coffee, between Whatnot, and between eBay and Poshmark every single month. And we're going to get up to that volume by March. I'm at 502 listed on eBay. Let's go, Jen. That's awesome. Johnson and Wales is that one. Thank you so much for that, Fetty. That one up in Rhode Island. That's the chef school. It sells. It ain't no Colombia. So listen, Barry D likes to talk a lot about Colombia, and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, they tend not to be platforms for nuance and depth of information. Barry D likes to sell Colombia because he does a lot of retail arbitrage and he sells a lot on Amazon. And Colombia can do good on Amazon. It's a really high selling brand. People rock Colombia like crazy. Like it's one of the best selling brands probably in the country. And if you have a Amazon and you're doing new with tags, and you're doing that game, it can be really good. Selling used Colombia can be tough. So the difference between like new with tags selling and used selling, even for the same brand, sometimes can be light years different. When somebody says like Colombia sells really well, you got to ask them like, well, where do you sell and how much are you paying for this stuff? And is it new with tags or not? Like you kind of got to get into the details, because just any business, the details is really what matters, right? Hey, did I show up late? You're just on time. Welcome aboard. We still got, I'm going to go actually reload, and we're going to go back out to the garage. I got a couple of orders that came in during the live, so we'll go grab those in a minute. I'm also going to go grab my charger right now, And yeah, that's my story. I'm only 176 listed. There's no such thing as only. Oh, sorry, I thought you said only. I'm at 176 listed. Remember back when I only had 26? That's crazy. You've like 6x, 7, 8, 7x stat, 7.5x. Are those USPS envelopes flat rate or priority by weight better than poly bags because they're free? So this is what's called the USPS priority Tyvek envelope. Tyvek with a T, like teeth. T. It doesn't say it anywhere on here. This is not flat rate, so it ships by weight and distance. And it can only be used with priority. They are free from USPS.com. I do use also a padded flat rate envelope like this, and it actually says right here, padded flat rate. Anytime you see the words flat rate on a USPS item, that means it is flat rate, and you have to use that specific label. So I have to use a padded flat rate envelope label that I print from eBay or from Pirate Ship. But on Poshmark, I can use this just the same as this. I can use any USPS branded material, USPS priority branded material. I can't use the Express stuff, but any USPS priority material I can use with Poshmark orders. So I can choose either one of these. Doesn't make a difference for Poshmark. eBay, it absolutely makes a difference. If you use this, you have to use that padded flat rate envelope rate, which is $8.30 anywhere in the country. Doesn't matter how much it weighs. If it's in that bag without modification, it's $8.30. What did I miss? I got a call. I love the questions. I love hearing about your businesses. What do you think about Vendoo? I think Vendoo is the best cross-listing platform on the market right now. I have a link in my profile for it. I no longer use Vendoo, asterisk, because I no longer list on a lot. I dropped a lot of the platforms that I used to sell on. So I no longer list on Mercari, Depop, Grailed, or Facebook Marketplace. I dropped them because this past year I added Whatnot, TikTok Shop, and chrisatpeak.com. So I still sell on eBay and Poshmark. So I use One Shop now for my cross listing. It's not as sophisticated as Vendoo is, but I don't need that level of sophistication because I only have the two platforms, eBay and Poshmark. So I really like One Shop. Objectively, it's not as comprehensive. It's not as good as Vendoo, but it works for me because it also does all my my automation stuff for Poshmark. So it does all my sharing, all my delisting and relisting, all happens through One Shop. So it's one thing. I used to have Vendoo and One Shop. One Shop did all my automation. Vendoo did all my cross listing. So I had two platforms to pay for, two platforms to log into. Now I just log into one. It's One Shop. It's linked in my profile. If you want to try it, I'm not selling it here, but if you want to try it, there's a link in my profile for, I think it's a free 7-day trial if you want to check out One Shop. I also have a link for Vendoo in my profile too. I'm a big fan of Vendoo. I do think it's the best platform for cross-listing. If you're planning on like cross-listing on 3 or more platforms, I think Vendoo's still your better solution. I can't really comment on Autoposher. I don't use it, so I can't comment it. I have zero experience using it. Autoposher and One Shop are similar in the sense that they're both bot services. There's a variety of them out there. Those are just two of them, One Shop and Autoposher. The difference between One Shop and Autoposher right now is that One Shop also has a cross-lister built in. Autoposher doesn't have that. You're going to have to go get a subscription service like Vendoo to do your cross-listing. One Shop can do both. So it's $45 a month. I do all my cross listing. I do all my Posh bot automation stuff through that one platform. $45 a month. There's a link in the profile. You can try it. Different platforms are different. Some people love Mac. Some people love PC. They swear by their individual platforms. Some people like Android. I think they're nuts. And some people like iPhone. So the best thing to do is to go try a few of these things and see what you like. So if you're thinking about Autoposher, I think they have a free trial. I don't know. I haven't used it. Go check out the Autoposher's free trial. Then check out the One Shop free trial. There's some other ones out there too. Same thing with Vendoo versus what's the other one? List Perfectly, although I still do think that Vendoo overall is objectively the better cross-listing platform than Autoposher. We can get into the nuts and bolts of that. But again, some people are going to like Android more than I like iPhone or Mac, right? So, they're going to have those people who are like, no, Autoposher is better. Yeah. I mean, Vendoo does have the better, like, comprehensive package of tools and features and, auto delist, like auto sales detection and all that stuff. It is objectively the more comprehensive package. But some people just like auto posture better because they like, just vibes with the way that their brain works. And you got to pick the technology that vibes the best with you. Because if you're using a cross lister or a bot, it's going to be integrated into your business, like woven into the fabric of your business. So you want it to be something that makes sense and works for you. So try out the different things. Don't just listen to what the guy with the beard that's been wearing the same shirt for 3 days says on a live. Go check these things out and make good decisions based on what makes sense for you. They all have free trials, so use the free trials. When you pick up an item, do you have a minimum profit margin in mind? Yeah, typically if I'm picking up thrifted items, I'm looking for items that I can make $11 or $12 or more in profit after shipping and fees and all that stuff. I used to be looking more for like $14, $15, or $16, but my area, if I just looked for items that would give me $14, $15, or $16 margins or higher, I would leave most thrift stores with like 1 to 2 items, and I would not be able to run a business and pay my bills. So I had to adjust to my local area. Asheville, North Carolina doesn't have a high concentration of wealth, doesn't have a lot of people. I mean, our city has 90-ish thousand people, but it gets real rural really quick. So our metro area is pretty small. So I just don't have the advantages like I did in Denver or Tampa to go and have like a higher threshold for profit. So I lowered my threshold of profit when I moved back here to Asheville. I knew I was going to have to do it, and I did it. And I'm working more on, have to do more volume to make the same amount of money that I used to. So what did you say about pirate shipping? I use pirate shipping. If you have any specific questions about it, I'm happy to answer that, but I use it. It's free. You can sign up to pirateship.com, get a free account. You can integrate it with your eBay. And there's some scenarios in which you might save money by doing that, but they're limited scenarios. You have to know what to look for. Autoposher is coming out soon with a cross lister sales shed. That's awesome information. I'm always very, very wary. So I've worked with a lot of these platforms. I've had sponsorship relationships with some of these platforms in the past. And when they say things, when these companies, and I used to work in tech, by the way, when these companies say they have a feature coming out soon, in their mind, that might be coming out in 2 weeks. But the testing, when they launch that, things might go really wrong in 2 weeks. Thank you for you're welcome, Badmouth Sailor. You're welcome. Sorry about the interruption there. So that 2 weeks could turn into 6 months in terms of like what their engineers can actually pull off. So I'm always wary about signing up for something for the promise of a feature that might be coming. That feature on that app might not be ready for game time for months when they think it's like coming really soon. So I'm always just, I point that out. I have that background in tech. I know how that works. You feel like the feature's got to be launched. It's got to be nice and clean and smooth. And then that's just not the way that engineering always works. You're welcome, Badmouth. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions about that. I'm going to go get a charger really quick and I'll be right back. Hang tight. Or don't. Okay. Thanks for doing that. So the charger that I have in here has been on the fritz. It's not really working well anymore. So I'm going to have to replace that charger. So I have to take my charger that I keep in the bedroom and swap it out to here for now. Anyway, somebody remind me to order another charger. Somebody's got to say it in like 5 seconds. It's going to be really helpful. It's going to be funny though. Hey, no worries for me. I use a free cross lister. I can't wait. Nice. Or you can just get one shop and freaking, they've had a cross lister for a long time now built into their platform. So one payment, $45 a month, and I can do all my Poshbot stuff, and I can do all my cross listing through one. But everybody should do their own thing. See what works. Order a damn charger. Thank you. I just figured that. Yeah, I didn't realize that you would be so helpful. You're usually not that helpful. Sterling, thank you. What is this? What's up, Bearded? Are you off today? Oh, wait, I forgot. Bearded's full time. I'm always like, you're always popping in like at work, saying hi. Does one shop delete? Hey guys, what are you up to? Hey, what's up? Does one shop delete and sell similar after 30 days? It doesn't do that with eBay. It's just going to do that with Poshmark, Depop, Mercari. I forget what other platforms it does it with. I just use it for Poshmark. The delete and sell similar. I just do that manually on eBay. I do it once a day. It takes me 60 seconds to do that with 15 items every single day. Didn't Barry have some for sale, or was it not the base? I mean, hey, what are you up to, guys? Yeah, it's odd, but getting into the groove. Nice, man. You feeling good? I remember the first few months for me felt like a lot of weight. And I knew it was going to be a lot of weight on my shoulders when I quit my full-time job in December of 2020. I was like, cool. It's going to be a lot of weight. I've been in the gym. I'm working out. I'm ready. I've built up this knowledge. I've built up systems. I'm ready to go for full time. And then as soon as I quit that full-time job, and I was like, whew, it felt really good. I was like, I don't got to freaking show up for work. I can just I can just go thrifting all day on Monday. I don't have to worry about meetings or anything. This is awesome, you know? And then after a couple of days of it, the first couple of days felt really awesome. I felt really free. I didn't feel like there's this whole other world that I had no focus on anymore. I just didn't have to concern. Every now and again, I'd be like, oh, wait, do I have to rush back for a meeting? Or, hey, do I have to take a call real quick in the parking lot of the thrift store? I'd be like, no, I don't got to worry about any of that stuff anymore. It was very, very freeing for like a week or so. I was like, this is really great, because my brain was still programmed to remember those things. And then I'd have to be like, oh yeah, I don't have to, this is cool. And then the weight really fell on my shoulders. It just felt like all of a sudden, oh, I need to really build this store. I need to really get up and cranking. So I went from 425 listings to 800 plus by, I think it was March 1st. I can double check this. But that was my goal, is I need to get up to 800 listings really, really fast. So I felt the weight really quickly. And although I knew it, and I talked to a lot of people that made the transition, there's no true full preparation for that actual weight, right? So I'm wondering if you're in a similar place, Bearded. At first, it was a week of yeah, and then it was oh God, this is really heavy. What's your website? Through Squarespace? Heck yeah, I feel like I've had that website. That was my old career coaching website. I've had a website for that. That was my first business, which I started in 2016. I feel like, no. Yeah, 2016 is how old that website is. I've just kind of slowly evolved it to match my current business. Yeah, I feel like I have less time to do everything, but definitely feel way more free. It's kind of, it's like a funky feeling, right? More free, but more weight is that's just the way I described it. It felt like I just had like one of those weight suits, I guess, or a weight vest. It was felt like I was carrying around a weight vest for a few months. And then that weight gets you stronger though, right? The feeling, the pressure. What do they say? That's how diamonds are made, is crazy amount of pressure. So that pressure pushed me through. And then by March 1st, I think it was March 1st, I hit 800 listings, but my memory could be way off on this. 2021 listings on the 1st. So on the 1st of March, I had 806 listings, and that was my goal, was to get to 800. So I was at, I think, 425 to get it to 806 by March 1st. It's actually not that different than this year. Those of you who have been following my journey a little bit, I did some freelance curriculum development work starting in February is when I accepted the contract, February of 2022, because we knew that year we were going to be moving. We were going to be putting our house in the market and moving back to Asheville. And I had an opportunity to do some contract work. Again, I was my own boss. I was going and doing some consultant, some curriculum development and consulting for a tech education company. And I had an opportunity I wasn't really looking for that work, but I had a connection. I had an opportunity. And I said, you know what, this makes sense to sign this contract because it is full remote work. I can do it on my own time, on my own accord. Of course, I'm working, I was working for a client, but yeah, I could dictate a lot of the terms and all that stuff and negotiate my price. So I did that, and it allowed us to make the transition up to Asheville, which I knew was going to be a lot more difficult for us to source up here for the business than it is in Tampa, which is a big metro area with a high concentration of wealth. Asheville, small city, we've talked about that a lot. So I knew it was going to be really challenging building the business back up here. I also needed to lose a lot of inventory because we're putting our house in the market. I ran the business out of the house. It took over an entire bedroom, which a house doesn't really show very well when you have a reseller. You know what I'm talking about? A reseller room in the house doesn't look so great. The whole garage, I had a bunch of storage in the garage. So I wanted to dwindle down that inventory. We also weren't sure where we were going to move. We didn't have a house lined up. So I was like, I don't know if we're going to have space for all this stuff or what it's going to look like. So the idea of taking this contract to pop up was huge. And it gave us, some economic stability as we made this transition from Tampa up to Asheville. Well, I wrapped up the contract last February. There was 3 contracts in there, but I did 3 different projects for this company that took over about a year's time. So my inventory had dropped way, way down. So if I go back to 2023, we go to February, number of units. Am I on the wrong page? I was on the wrong page. So units, go to fast forward to February of 2022. So or 2023. So 2 years later, I was at 398 units in inventory. And then, so built that up throughout the course of the year and really started scaling it again in October. So from October, I had 394 listings this past October 2023. 394 listings. We're now up to 731 right now. And we're on the road up to 1,000 to kind of build it back up. So it's kind of funny. It's 3 years later from 2020 to 2023. It's 3 full years later from when I went full time, and I scaled from December through March. The goal was go to 400 to 800. And I'm basically doing the same thing, starting in October, going from 400, and now we're going to hit 800 by sometime this month. And then next month, we're going to get up to 900. And then by March, we're going to get up to 1,000. It's kind of funny how it's like full circle and building back up the business again. A lot of people people who weren't following the journey closely or maybe weren't in the lives. I wasn't doing videos about like, here's my inventory now and here's what my goals are. Maybe I should do videos like that. I was just doing videos to teach people how to grow their business. But a lot of people don't realize that I was doing all this other stuff. I had that, curriculum development side hustle going on. I started a coffee business last April. I started doing merch last May, and then we started doing Whatnot in July. I started planning for Whatnot basically late May. So I had a lot of change happening. April, May, June is when I was launching coffee, merch, Whatnot all at once. So in the meantime, eBay and Poshmark, took a back seat because it's a one-person operation. Kim helps out now, but at that time, Kim was 0% involved in the business, like 0.0. Then when we started doing Whatnot shows, she started emceeing the Whatnot shows. That wasn't by plan, that was by necessity. And then she got laid off in September, and so she started helping out with the business. She's since taken a contract job, and she's been working that full time. It's going to run out here in a few weeks, but so she's been helping out like a few hours a week, maybe averaging like 4 hours a week to help out with the business, emceeing the show, helping with the shipping from the show, doing some photos for the business. So how many are you listing per day? I don't really have like a daily listing goal because I have those other parts of the business. I can't just every day like kind of buckle in and just list, because I'm also focused on the coffee, I'm focused on the content, and I'm focusing on preparing for Whatnot shows through consignment. We haven't talked about consignment today. If you're interested in selling your pieces on my Whatnot shows, go to consignment.chris@peak.com. There's a link down below, or ask me a question about it. I'm happy to talk about it. But consignment's become a tremendous part of our business at this point. It's been really huge. We've now sold 699 pieces of consignment inventory since September, and we're planning on selling 400 pieces of consignment this month alone. Next month we'll probably do about the same, and then we're looking to sell about 500 consignment pieces in the month of March. So the business is like the core the same. We're buying stuff that has value and like good resell or sell-through rate. We're selling that stuff online. The customers are all over the country and all over the world. Just the way that we're doing it is a little bit different. And we're doing it through Whatnot. We're also trying to scale this coffee business this year too. So 2024 is now about scaling, whereas 2023 was about new beginnings. And some of you, this is the part of the conversation that I don't bring up too often either. I thought reselling was going to be my side hustle this time last year, I was in a class learning how to buy real estate and use real estate for short-term rentals like on VRBO and Airbnb. My goal last year was to buy 2 properties and get those both up on Airbnb and VRBO and build a website for that and start creating content to support all that stuff. That's kind of Peak Eat started as a fun side project. And then I was like, holy crap, this could be a really good, helpful thing for my Airbnb business if I also create that Peak Eats content and talk a lot about like restaurants and travel here in the Asheville and Western North Carolina area. If I have Airbnbs out here, this would be sick. And I have friends that got Airbnbs. We can build a big, robust website. I can build a great content game to hook up to it that would help us sell our 8 or 10 Airbnbs, or 12 or 14, because I have a crew of friends that do that here locally. And that was the plan last year, was buy 2 real estate properties, keep the reselling business as a side hustle. And then as April kind of came around, it became very clear that maybe if we were lucky, we were going to be able to buy 1 property last year. So I was like, I need another business I want to get involved in. I had an itch to scratch. I've been reselling now for 5.5 years. I'm like, I want to do something, like I need something else too that will be fun. And my area is tough for reselling too. It's hard to find a lot of stuff, especially like garage sales really hadn't started in March when I started investigating the coffee business. So this was a way to, like, for me to try something new that I'd never done before, something that I loved and I love talking about every single day. So anything I do with business now is going to check 3 boxes. I've talked about this a lot. It's got to be something I love talking about every day. It's going to be something I like learning about every day. And it's going to be something I like teaching about every day. And coffee certainly checks all those boxes. I'm not a coffee expert. That doesn't have to be one of the things. I wasn't a reselling or clothing expert when I started this, but I like talking about it. I like teaching about it, and I like learning about it. So that's what we're doing. So this year is a scale year. Last year was, I thought, going to be a real estate year. I thought I was going to be sitting on 2 Airbnb properties right now. 2 big Airbnb properties. That was the freaking goal. And yeah, the market here, you probably read into this, the market, for a lot of like what rates, what mortgage rates are. And and the Airbnb market locally has taken a hit. Occupancy rates are down. There's a lot of new hotels that didn't exist a few years ago, because it takes longer to build hotels than it does Airbnb. So when there wasn't enough hotels for a number of years in Asheville, Airbnbs crushed because there was nobody for people to stay in. Asheville was this big, hot destination. It became like a national destination. It used to be a regional destination. Now everybody knows Asheville, right? So Airbnbs crushed for years because there wasn't enough hotel capacity. But it takes years to go from an idea of a hotel to an hotel actually being open and taking customers. So what happened was, you got to go through the approval phase. You got to go before like the Asheville Planning Board and the Zoning Board, and you got to go. Thank you for the follow, FHE. And then you got to do all the construction, and then you got to go through all the permitting. It takes years, right? So the hotels were way behind the big influx of tourism here in Asheville. So Airbnbs were crushing. I mean, people were just making a ton of money, right? Well, now the hotels have caught up. I mean, they've built dozens of hotels in the metro Asheville area, some really big properties, a ton of them downtown. And now occupancy is tough because now people can get the hotel rooms, and oftentimes they can get them cheaper. So when you're in the Airbnb business, you are competing with hotels. You're not just competing with Airbnbs and VRBO. You are competing with hotels, and the hotels now have a lot of vacancy in the off seasons, like right now. So what do hotels do? They bring their prices way down, and Airbnbs can't bring their prices as far down as maybe a hotel can, because you got to pay that mortgage and all that stuff. So, and all that stuff's going up. So anyway, that's the sort of the backstory. So now when Kim got laid off in September, then it was kind of this thing, like, it took me a few weeks before I kind of got this far. It was a lot for us to process, but I all of a sudden realized a few weeks later, I was like, hey, we're not going to get approved for a mortgage on any property now with my income from the business, and you now having an interruption in employment. We're not going to get a mortgage. Nobody's going to give us a note. They're not going to give us any money. There's no chance that we're going to get an Airbnb in the short term. There's no, I was only like passively looking at real estate. You have 2 Airbnbs. Nice, Amy. When did you buy the Airbnbs? And because you might have, so people who bought them, say they bought their house in 2018, 2019, they had much lower rates and they bought those houses a lot cheaper. They're actually my friends are doing well with their Airbnbs. But for me to buy one at current prices, at current rates, with current occupancy, it'd be tough to really break even in this area right now. So yeah, it took me a few weeks. It was a lot to process. And I was like, we're not going to get a loan for anything. So there's no Airbnb coming in the next several months. Of course, if Kim got a job in the same industry doing like the same occupation, they wouldn't really see that as an interruption to work. And she has a contract in the same thing. So we could get a mortgage still if things crack a certain way, but the market's just really, really tough. I mean, the math just doesn't really add up. So we made the decision like last October, like it's time to scale back up this business. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to scale Whatnot. We're going to scale eBay and Poshmark, and we're going to scale coffee. And that's just what it is. I don't talk about this stuff enough, but I probably should be more transparent about some of this stuff. 8%. Yeah, and it could be more than 8% if we're because there's two different ways we could get a loan for an Airbnb. We could get one as a primary residence and move into that for 6 to 12 months and rent out part of it, and then eventually buy a second property, and then we could have a little bit lower rate. But if we buy it as a investment property, then we would probably have an 8+% rate because they charge higher rates on those loans. If it was your primary residence, it's a little bit cheaper, but ultimately, yeah, you're talking about in that 8% ballpark. Ain't it funny how it goes? One in 2018 and one in 2020. Awesome. Yeah. So you're talking about much different rates, much different cost outlay per month. I mean, the difference between paying 2% interest rate and paying an 8% interest rate on the properties that we're looking at, like in the $800,000 range. I mean, you're talking about a few $1,000s a month in difference. Same home price, although the prices have gone up, but say the price didn't go up. Just the interest rate difference, you are talking about a few $1,000s extra out of your pocket every freaking month. That eats up basically what all the profit would be on the Airbnb. Okay. Not right now. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Hey, were you thinking about doing pictures today? You don't have to wait for me to be done. Okay, I didn't know if it happened already. Hey, Esther. Thanks everyone for hanging out for a little bit. That was a little bit into like the depths, like kind of behind the scenes, what's all been going on. But right now it's go time, and I know there's, my business has been small. I've been doing a lot of days where I ship out 1, 2, or 3 items, and you've seen that over the last several months. But hopefully, there's more days like today where we packed up. Yet the last 24 hours there was 12 sales. That's awesome. Of course, Whatnot's been big for us. Last week we shipped out 115 total units through Whatnot on top of that. So, and we're looking to scale that too. Thank you for the loan offer, Andrew. I appreciate it. You forgive me for calling you outside your name. I'm not mad. You're welcome, Kim J. Esther, how are you? Esther, you're out in California, right? Talk about expensive real estate. All right, I got some sales that came in while we were live, so I guess we'll go ahead, unless you're not interested, we'll go ahead and ship these out. You can let me know YRN. I'll go grab these out of the garage. So we got an LL Bean on eBay. This is an F2. This had a flaw on it. Oh, it was a flannel shirt, a women's flannel, and the cuff had like some wear right here. The person was obviously right-handed because there was wear on like the right side of the cuff where the outside flannel part was worn off. So I priced it down. I priced it for $13, and the buyer bought it full price, $13. That LL Bean flannel, I probably would have priced it at like $22 or $24 if it didn't have that, that wear on the sleeve. But it sold for $13. I just listed that last week, so it sold for a week. I'm not making a lot of profit off $13. I paid $5 for it, but I got it home. It had a flaw. I didn't notice it at the thrift store, and I still made a little bit of profit out of it. It wasn't a loss. So not great dollars per hour, but it is dollars. So this is a Bean large flannel. That's an F2. This is going out to, okay. All right. You're the only vote, Cindy. So your vote wins. Give us a tour of your storage shed. It's a garage, but I can take TikTok out there because you're on my phone, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll have to put you on pause here in a few minutes while we go out there. I can't carry the laptop. Idaho real estate prices are ridiculous. Idaho is one of the states in the country where the prices went up the most. You probably already know that. I'm telling you what you know. Idaho and Utah were 2 states that frickin' skyrocketed. There are also probably two of the states that are going to see the biggest pullback, and I've seen some pullback already, by the way, too, on prices. But this is going out to Amber. Amber's in Bath, Maine. All right. LL Bean, of course, going to Maine. The pride of Freeport, Maine is LL Bean. So that's out in F2. We'll grab that. Let's see what's going on over on Poshmark. There was a Poshmark sale too. This is a Holderness and Bourne. This is a big sale, $79, brand new with tags. This is a retail arbitrage play. This is a size large, little sweatshirt. We'll go grab that. That's sold on Poshmark. And what bin is that in? Thanks everyone for hanging out. We're just getting a little work done, chitty chatting. Let me know how things are going with your business. If you have questions about reselling, that's absolutely what this is about. And if there's anything specifically that I could talk about, if you'd like me to riff about something, let me know. If there's something that would help you with your business, whatever's going on in your business world right now, and you're kind of wrestling with it, if I can be helpful with that, I'll do my best to. If I can't be helpful, we have a bunch of people in the chat. We have 62 people on TikTok. We got 4 people on YouTube and Facebook. We got 3 people on Instagram. A bunch of these people are really smart resellers. Some of them do a lot more business than I do too. And we have people who are experts in a lot of different categories too. So yeah, ask your questions or tell me what topics you want me to riff about. I'll do my best to do that while we're getting some work done here. Print out this I love Poshmark shipping. Have I said that today? Probably 3 times. You don't have to weigh anything. Everything goes priority. You don't have to fiddle with what packages it got to fit into. What's the best rate? It's all buyer pay shipping, $7.98. It's all priority. It's freaking easy. See if we have any offers to address too. Do you roast your own coffee and sell it? Jen, the coffee is roasted so it's our branded coffee, but it's roasted for us by our friends at Dynamite Roasting Company. They've been Western North Carolina's #1 coffee roaster as voted by the people 11 years in a row. They've been in business for 15 years. So I don't roast my own coffee because I don't know enough about coffee, and I don't have relationships with farms in Honduras and Mexico and Bolivia. I don't have those relationships, and I don't sell enough coffee to have 150-pound bags of beans. And usually you buy like 20 of those 150-pound bags, right, per shipment. I don't do that kind of volume and have enough knowledge about roasting. Roasting contraptions are really, really expensive too, like all the materials. I do not have the tools for that job, but Dynamite does. They roast it fresh every Thursday. A lot of people who have their own coffee brands talk about their brands as if they have like a roasting facility in their garage, and they don't. They usually don't talk about the roaster who roasts it, but I'm proud to talk about the roaster who roasts our coffee because they're located in Western North Carolina, in Black Mountain, right down the street from us. And they're freaking award-winning coffee roasters. They're awesome. They're great people to work with. They roast it fresh for me every Thursday, and we ship it out to people every week. I have a light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast. We can sell it to you in ground, whole bean if you like to grind your own, or we have a French press grind if you make your coffee in a French press. So it's a great way to get some fair trade, organic, and 2 of the coffees are single origin too, which is a big deal when you're talking about like, this is like top of the top shelf coffee. This isn't some creator who's with a beard who's got some crappy coffee that he's trying to overprice and sell to you. No, this is the best of the best stuff. I bet you there's nobody on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube who's selling coffee that's better than this. I found a Holderness and Bourne polo shirt and was excited. Then I found a hole in the back. Bummer. Do you think I should still sell it on eBay and disclose it? If you already took it home and you already bought it, then yes, find a way to salvage some value out of your item. I sell flawed items all the time. I just sold one a minute ago. But so that item that I just sold, I'll show it to you. Well, I probably won't take it out of the bag, but it's got wear around the cuff, and the inside of the shirt is exposed, So all I did was in the item title, I put asterisk read, and then in item description, I described that there's fraying on the cuff. See the close-up photo with the pointer, and then I take a close-up photo with a pointer. In this case, the pointer is a pen, and I point it right at the sleeve, wherever that flaw is, And I let them know. So those three things, it's in the item title, it's in the description, and it's in the photos with a close-up with a pointer so that people know exactly what they're getting. I price it at the bottom of the market, and they usually sell pretty quick because it's a really low price. So I get a lot of views on those items because people are searching and they're looking for the lowest price, whatever. And somebody comes along and they get a good deal on an item. So I would do that with your Holderness and Bourne if you already have it. I asked Surfs earlier, but my thrift store has a $15 bag sale tomorrow. I can get about 10 or 15 items in a grocery bag rolled up tight. Would you pick up everything new with tags or off brands? I don't live in a town where you find good stuff, industrial town. So Mary, if my cost of goods was, you're basically saying that you can fit 10 items in there, 10 to 15. So we'll go with 10. So your cost of goods is going to be $1.50 a piece. So for me, I'm going to be willing to sell items that would have resale value of $15 plus shipping. So say $15 plus 5 shipping. So $15 plus shipping or higher, I would pick up at $1.50 buy cost, because you can still make about $10 or $12 profit on those items if you're able to sell them for $15 or more. But that doesn't mean I'm going to pick up everything with a tag, because you're going to find some items with a tag that don't have value of $15 or more. So to answer your question, it comes down to what it always comes down to. What is the average sale price for that item over the past 90 days? You can look it up on eBay for any item. Just find similar items that have sold over the last 90 days. Scroll through, see what the average price is for that. Get an idea. Number two is you want to see the sell-through rate of those items too. If 2 of them have sold over the last 90 days and there's 100 listed, that's a 2% sell-through rate. That means you aren't going to sell that item in the next 90 days because only 2% of them listed sold in the last 90 days. So that means you're going to probably have that item real long unless you were the cheapest price. So you got to look at that sell-through rate too and see, is that item likely to sell in the next 90 days? And it doesn't matter what your buy cost is, right? You always have to be evaluating, what is that item going to sell for, and what is the sell-through rate? How likely is this item going to sell in the next 90 days? That is cool. I didn't know you could have someone roast it for you. It's very, very common in the coffee industry. It's common in like all kinds of food industries, right? Where people don't actually produce their own product. Like a lot of people will sell online. They'll sell like hot sauces, right? They don't have a hot sauce manufacturing facility, right? Where they're buying bulk chili peppers and roasting them down and tomatillos. That's not happening, in the other room. They're working with a company that does all that stuff, a food processing facility, and they call it white labeling, or they call it private labeling. When I worked at the second restaurant I worked in, we did private label root beers. It was called the Yard Seafood and Steakhouse. And we had root beer that said the Yard Restaurant and Steakhouse on it. But we didn't have like a root beer brewing facility out in the back, we just didn't have that. We also had bottled water that we got from a company that was, it said the Yard Restaurant on it. We didn't have like an aquifer, to do all that stuff. So there's a lot of that stuff out in the marketplace. People just don't realize it. But anyway, our coffee's freaking delicious. It's fair trade. It's organic. And 2 of the 3 that we offer are single origin. You can buy it right now at chris@peak.com. There's links somewhere, depending on what platform you're on. On TikTok, you can also check it out on TikTok Shop. Free shipping on all orders over $20 on TikTok Shop. You click my name, you go about halfway down my profile, you click where it says shop, SHOP. How do I get started with organizing everything with taxes? So you're going to want to do probably 3 really, really important things. Number 1, you're going to want to keep track of all of your costs, everything that you spend for your business, whether it's receipts from thrift stores. You write down the prices that you paid for the items at garage sales, anything you buy, packing materials, shipping supplies. Keep track of your mileage and all that stuff. So number 1 is keep track of your costs very carefully. Find an organized way to do that. Number 2, keep track of your sales, all the money that's coming in the door. Keep track of all that stuff. Number 3, talk to a tax professional, a CPA. It's probably way cheaper than you think to talk to somebody who can advise you through your tax situation, which is going to be very specific to you and your business and your family and your earnings. So do those 3 things and you can't lose. Keep track of your cost. Keep track of everything that's coming in the door from you, and talk to a tax professional, and you'll be good. You also might consider, I have this linked in my profile or at chris@peak.com. You can check out the reseller spreadsheet from Jason Hayes. Jason Hayes is actually my sensei. He's the one who first got me into this business. He's the one who taught me that the numbers really matter, and he sells a spreadsheet. He's been doing this for 3 years now. He's had thousands and thousands of sales on this spreadsheet. He's a reseller. He built the spreadsheet for resellers specifically. If you sell on multiple platforms, if you sell on Whatnot, if you create content, whatever your business is about, this spreadsheet is literally built. It's not like it's built for a business. It's built for a reselling business in mind by somebody who is a reseller. There's a discount code, ThanksChris10, and you can also find that in my profile. Just go to the website or chris@peak.com. You'll find the reseller spreadsheet from Jay Hayes. Thanks, Chris10, for 10% off. I use the spreadsheet. I've been using it now for a couple of years. I'm a spreadsheet geek, and his spreadsheets are better than mine. Thank you, Biggie. I appreciate the compliment. It's such thank you. Thank you, Nicolas. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Made my first Whatnot purchase from you last week. Thanks for the great item. Quick shipping in the note. Thank you, Fly Eagles Fly. What'd you buy? I'm curious. I really appreciate, because people always have different screen names on TikTok and whatever from their Whatnot name. But what'd you buy? I'm curious. Thanks for supporting our tiny little business. It means a lot to me. What is the lowest sell-through rate that you would pick up? Cindy. So the question about the lowest sell-through rate item I would pick up, the answer is it depends, because if it's a low sell-through rate item, say like it's a 15% sell-through rate item, and I can buy said item for really, really cheap, and it's got to, like, say I'm going to buy it for $5 and it's going to sell for 90, but it's like a 15% sell-through rate, which is a low sell-through rate, I'm still going to buy it because I can price at the bottom of the market and be then literally, if it's 15% sell-through rate, that means somebody's buying it. So 10 people bought it in the last 90 days. I can list it for 70 and be lower than everybody else in the market, and I will literally be the next sale, and I'll make a ton of money. So, to just give you like a flat, like I don't buy it below this certain rate, doesn't take into account the fact that, like, I could still sell a low sell-through rate item can sell really fast if you're priced right. So that's an important thing. Our Mara Cruz, I hope that helped you with the tax thing. Robert Grand shirt, screen name P Murph. Nice. Thank you so much. We sold a handful of Robert Graham. We had a bunch of Robert Graham come in this week. I think there's 7 or 8 Robert Grahams. There's some really unique ones. There's some Robert Graham exclusives. I didn't mean to turn this into a sales pitch, but you bought a Robert Graham last week. We got crazy Robert Graham. New with tags, women's silk Robert Graham. I'm going to show it to you. It's ridiculous. The stuff that we got, I'm going to show you a couple of Robert Grahams, actually. There's 2 out of this world awesome Robert Grahams that we're going to have on Whatnot. I'm going to hide them. Oh, I don't have to hide them. All these are already listed with photos and sizes up on Whatnot. You can check it out. Link in bio. And if you're new to Whatnot, you can get $15 for free, $15 credit by joining with that link in the profile. No strings attached to that. This is brand new with tags, Robert Graham silk, women's size large, $300. It's got sequins, it's silk, it's leopard. Holy crap. That's going to start at $1 tomorrow night on Whatnot. And look at this one. Robert Graham men's, size 2X, all over golf clubs, golf balls. This is like one of those polyester wicking stretch. You're welcome, Mary Cruz. Hope that helps, Cindy, right? It's always, it depends. And it's the business is in the nuances. I don't resell yet, so only buy men's large for now. All right, well, I'll find you a men's large. I got a men's large for you. I appreciate your business. I really do. It means a lot to me. Thank you, Nick Smith, for the lightning bolts. This one's a 2X, that Robert Graham one. I don't think I've ever found one like that. And when I say like that, I don't think I've ever found a Robert Graham golf polo. I can't think, like the polyester polo, Let's see about a men's large. That's a medium. I got a lot of sizes. That's a small. This one's a XL. Maybe every size but large. Hold on, there's a lot of Robert Graham. Maybe every size but large. Oh wait, what's this one? Medium. Oh, what's this one? Give me a large. That's an extra large. check it out. Just put on some LBs and grab this Robert Graham exclusive. I got a few exclusives. This is an XL. This exclusive's got that like satin little foot cuff right there. That's a Robert Graham exclusive. Awesome piece right there. Extra large. I got a few Robert Graham exclusive variety sizes. Apparently I don't have a large. I have small, medium, extra large, and 2 extra large. I didn't see, and I have a women's extra large. I didn't see any large. That's all right. I'll have more. Believe me, I'll have more. I'll have more Robert Graham for you soon. That much. We sell a lot of Robert Graham on Whatnot. Animal print is hot for the upcoming season. There you go. You heard it here first from Tino. I don't resell yet, so only buy men's large. No worries. I keep my eyes out this week. I like that medium LL Bean sweater for my wife. Is that the full zip? Is that the full zip? There it is. Yeah, size medium. It's a full zip cable knit. Full zip cable knit on that. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, that's a cool one. Anyway, I'm going to go out to the garage. And actually, let me just check and see if I have any offers. I feel like there might be an offer sitting in here. Made a new offer on LL Bean. Let's see what we got. I got a $16 LL Bean plaid button-up lightweight shirt, size large. So I have this LL Bean right here, listed for $21 on Poshmark. I got an offer for $16. Tell me what to do. Men's size large, nice pattern on it. A pattern like this actually this can be a difference maker for like an LL Bean. That is a nice LL Bean pattern. It's very on brand. It's not like a super, super common pattern for them either, but very on brand. I think that's a tartan plaid. $21 listing price, size large, cotton, $16 offer. What am I doing? Cindy says take it. We got 1 vote. Counter 21. If this was like a really high sell-through rate item, I might counter at 21. We got 2 votes. Take it or counter at 21. I need more votes on this. I think it's a nice pattern. Recent listing too. I just put this one up. Probably paid $5 for it. A bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. Take it. $18 counter. The reason I do that is I feel like there's probably still money on the table. Might as well go take it. Number 2, an $18 counter offer is not going to offend somebody, right? I'm $2 above their offer. I'm $3 above my original price. It's probably not going to offend this person. If the person wants it, they'll either come up to 17, they'll come up to 18, or they'll counter again at 16. Quick nickel or slow down. It doesn't necessarily, you don't need to choose on this. It's the devil's in the details. The devil's in the details. This is a really close offer to what their offer is. It's just assuming that there's a little bit of money on the table. I'm going to go take it. If I lose this offer at 16, I'm not worried about it because I can price that shirt down to 16 and it's going to sell within 2 weeks if I price it there, if I change the price on it. So I'm not worried about losing the sale. If I want it gone at 16, I can change it to 16 and literally sell it in a couple of weeks. I'm not worried about that at all. Did you happen to see my question a little earlier? I had a phone call that came in and maybe missed the answer. Geez, Mary, sorry. So you asked a question, I answered it, but you were gone. I don't know. If you want me to answer a question that hasn't been answered, just let me know down below in the chat. Kind of keeping up with 3 chat feeds, which is fine. But yeah, just let me know. So you asked a question, I answered it, but you were gone. I don't know. I don't remember what the question was now. If you got the space, write it out for all it's worth. The dude of vibes. Hey, just hopping on. What's up, Nicole? Thanks for being here. Thank you for the bracelet, Kings of eBay. 16 was too low for me. So we'll see what happens. I was hoping that maybe I got like a quick counter offer or a quick accept because I'm going to go out to the garage right now and grab a few items. I'll keep that phone in my pocket while I go out. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you're going to have to hold on for 2 minutes. We're going to go outside. We're going to pick a couple orders. We're going to ship a couple more out. We got a Holderness and Bourne and a LL Bean going out the door, maybe another LL Bean. We'll see. So I'll be back in like 2 minutes. We're going to go up to the garage. I'd take y'all too, but I can't carry the laptop. I drop it. It would suck. shipping for the day. Once I'm done shipping for the day, I'm done. But these are just a little bonus. I'm on live. We'll ship it out, whatever. So it's not like I need to find it right now. We're back. People actually hung out. I appreciate y'all. Do you happen to see? Mary, if you want me to answer that question, I'm sorry. I don't know what question you're referring to. There's been a lot of questions, and I love it, but I just don't know which one you're referring to. If you have a question and I missed it in the chat or you missed the answer, just drop it again, and I'll answer it. It's that easy. I didn't find the yellow bean when I first glanced, so we'll find that tomorrow. That's fine. This is like bonus shipping. Holderness and Bourne, great brand. Golf brand, high end. The retail on this, it doesn't have MSRP on this, but the MSRP on this Holderness and Bourne sweatshirt, it's a cotton poly blend. This would be well in excess of $100 for this piece right here. It's a great, great brand to look for. A lot of people don't know that brand. Let me know down below in the chat. Y or N, do you know that brand? That's a Poshmark sale. So for $79, it's a retail arbitrage play. I picked it up last Sunday. I think I paid $29 for it. And it sold for, I think, $69, excuse me. Sorry, it sold for $79. Sold for $79. So I haven't even paid the credit card bill that I bought that on, the money back in my account, or I will in a couple days here. It's going in a Priority Tyvek envelope. I'm glad I'm not the only one. You don't know that one? Nice. Holderness and Bourne, great one to look for. New or used, I pick it up in any size, any model, any color, as long as the price is right. I pick up Holderness Bourne, everything. My store is having a bag sale. Yep, we walked through this. It's kind of a big question, Mary, that you're asking. So I'm assuming that if you're getting 10 items in that $15 bag, then I'm going to be looking, so that's $1.50 an item that you're paying. So I'm going to look for stuff that sells for $15 plus shipping or more. And I'm going to pay attention both to the recent sale prices on eBay for those items and also the sell-through rate on those items too. So I'm just going to lower, it's the same thing. I'm typically buying stuff for $5 and I'm trying to sell it for $20 or like $18 or $20 or more on eBay or Poshmark plus shipping. So I'm just, because I'm buying it at $1.50, that just means that what I'm willing to, like the sale prices just goes down a little bit, like a couple bucks. So I'll be looking down for things that are going to sell for $15 or more, still with a high sell-through rate. So I'm not going to tell you to just buy everything that you see if it's new with tags, like your question was initially. Just look for items that are going to be, it depends on your threshold, Mary. What are you looking for profit per item? And then make a good decision based on the market value for those items. You can't just pick up everything. You have to know what the market value is. Even at a cheap cost like $1.50, there's a lot of stuff that's not going to be worth your time. You just have to look at the cost of each item and the sell-through rate and all that. What was the brand again? Holderness and Bourne. I'll show you the logo, but it's already bagged up in this little thing. Thank you so much for your order, Mike. That's heading out. $79 sale. A couple of big sales. We had a couple of $79 sales. Is that right? And we had a $115 sale. Pretty good little day. I'm content with it. We'll see if that LL Bean offer materializes anything. Nothing. Thanks everyone who put in a coffee order today. I appreciate that. We got some coffee going out. We had a coffee lovers gift box going out. Really appreciate that. You're supporting my small local business and 4 other local businesses around here. So I appreciate that. Hopefully that helps you, Mary. Yeah, no worries, Mary. And there might have been some more context in the first time I answered it too. Remember, all these lives, you can watch the replay on Facebook and YouTube as soon as I log off. The full recordings are available if you want to watch through. You can fast forward or whatever. You can look at whatever time that you asked that question initially, and you can just like fast forward right to that point, and you can see the answer if you want to. I think I had a little bit more nuance in the first one, but I do work from home. This business is entirely run out of the second bedroom of our house, which is 100% office, in our garage, which we store. We don't park our car in the garage. We park our inventory in the garage. Yep. We started this business in a 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Denver just over 5 years ago. So you can do it too. It doesn't have to be, you don't need a warehouse. You might not even need a storage unit. If you have a garage or a basement or an extra bedroom, that's not being utilized. Maybe kick the kids out. It's about time the kids got their own apartment and started paying their own rent. If they're not paying rent, get them out of there. Go get an apartment and turn it into your business. Why not? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just kind of kidding. Miracle, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Can you use One Shop on my phone? One Shop on your phone? One Shop is only a mobile app. You only use it on your phone. So I'll go do all my listings for the day when I sign off with you right now. Later on, I'm going to go and kicked out. You're funny. Later on, I'll just sit on the couch. Yesterday, I had 27 items to cross list, and probably took me somewhere between 15 and 18 minutes to cross list them all to Poshmark, just sitting on the couch right here on the phone. It does all my Posh automation too. I'm not trying to sell One Shop. Go check it out if you're in the market for a cross lister and or an automation service for your Poshmark or whatever. Check it out. There's a free trial, but I'm not affiliated with them. Thanks, Nancy. I love how I just talked about kicking the kids out of the bedroom, and you're like, that's so inspiring. Do you resell exclusively clothing? Mostly clothing. I've been doing this for 5.5 years. I do resell shoes too. On occasion, I'll sell vintage kitchenware if I come across stuff at garage sales. Sporting goods. I got some fishing lures in stock that I got to list. At garage sales, I kind of do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I've sold all kinds of stuff over the years, but right now I'm 95%, maybe more focused on clothing. That's kind of my thing, but I've gone back and forth in that over the years. I like selling clothing. It doesn't break in shipping. I got a good system for listing it. It doesn't take up a lot of room. They store really easy. I'm just set up to jam clothing. So I like it. And I don't find a lot of hard goods at thrift stores around here. They tend to price them up a lot. So the wintertime when there's no garage sales, if I was just focused on hard goods, I'd probably have a tough time, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for the day. Really appreciate everybody hanging out, even if it was just for a couple minutes. Thanks for tapping the screen, hitting the like button. If you haven't followed or subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. All these lives are always recorded and available on Facebook and YouTube. I have the same name on all the platforms. You can go over to, you can click my name on TikTok and you can go to the website from there and you can see, everything's linked. All my stores are linked. If you want to check out the coffee business, which we really love, or our rad merch, you can check that out. Our Whatnot's linked there. If you're new to Whatnot, you haven't joined yet, you can sign up with that link. You can get a $15 credit for free. Come check out our show tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday, every week, 7:30. We're now doing Thursday nights too. If you're interested in consignment, there's a link there. You can read about the brands that we look for and the payouts that we give to people. It's 70-30 splits net after fees. You get 70, we keep 30. It's a great way to move your items really quickly with very little work, no photos, no measuring, no worrying about returns or customer service or all the crazy giveaways that we give away to people on Whatnot. You don't have to worry about all that stuff or the marketing or any of that. Just put it in a box, ship it to us. And, we have 4 consigners in tomorrow night's show. 3 consigners in tomorrow night's show. All 3 of those people will get paid out Wednesday, 70-30 splits. If you want to learn more about that, check out consignment.chris@peak.com or send me a message. If you want to learn more about reselling, follow along. I try to put out as much of this content as I can. I try to dig down into that second level, get into the nuance of the business. Try not to give those answers that are like just flat rate answers. I try to get into well, it depends, and explain what the depends means. So if you like that kind of stuff, you like the devil's in the details, the cash is in the details. If you like that kind of stuff, follow along. I'll see you again tomorrow. If not sooner, it'll be 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, Whatnot. Even if you're not in the market to buy some clothes, if you want to come check out and see some, I put my best stuff up on Whatnot. I put my consigners, all their stuff goes on Whatnot. Fire pieces. You want to learn about a lot of the brands that sell and actually see them sell. Whatnot's a great fast-paced way. It's usually about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, and you'll see somewhere between 50 and 60 items flashed up on the screen, sold prices, whatever. It's fun, and there's always some really good stuff, including this Kuji men's size extra large. Everything starts at $1. You might get a crazy sale. A lot of resellers buy stuff from my shows and flip them and make some money too. I love sourcing from the couch, by the way. That's my favorite. I like going to thrift stores. I like garage sales. But if I can sit on the couch and source, I'm going to be honest with you, that's my favorite thing to do. See you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on Whatnot, if not sooner. Have an awesome day. Happy MLK Day. 55 years since Dr. King passed. What a legacy from a man who only lived 39 years, assassinated before his 40th birthday. and had that much of a legacy. Kind of crazy. So take a moment maybe to think about how crazy of a legacy, like how powerful that is. A man that lived 39 years before assassinated, and he's still impacting us. His legacy still lives on powerfully today. Pretty crazy to think about. What's your legacy going to be? Peace.